Hello everybody, I'm Thomas. Welcome back to another Solo Gaming Sunday stream. This week I'm back with 4 Against Darkness, the solo solitaire dungeon delving game. Been wanting to play this for a while. I've been wanting to play this on the channel for a long time. I've heard many things about this game. Specifically when brought up like in the realms of solo RPGs, which I can see why, but also this isn't like it's not an RPG. It's just, I mean, maybe there's some extra supplement books that add stuff, but at its core, this isn't an RPG. And even like I went on the Board Game Geek page for this game, and it's like things as this game is not. And one of them is specifically like, this is not a role-playing game. Even though to me, I mean, it has a lot of aspects of it, you know, in a lot of RPGs, fantasy RPGs, you'll do a lot of dungeon delving. This isn't an RPG. It's just a dungeon diving game with a lot of RPG elements for sure. You'll be rolling dice. You'll have a lot of, you know, different choices. It's not a choose your own adventure type of game. It's just a solitaire dungeon delving game. Not saying it's bad, not saying it's not any good because of that fact, but I don't know. I went into this assuming this was some sort of RPG because I see it recommended a lot of the times in the RPG space, people are like, what's a good solo RPG? And this comes up a lot. And once again, I can kind of see why, but at the same time, it's not really an RPG. But with that kind of, I don't know, disclaimer out of the way, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to playing this. I just this last week have really started to play this for the first time. Played a couple games and I had some pretty good luck. You know, got through some dungeons all right, and I think at this point I've slowly got the hang of the rules. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun little adventure doing some dungeon delving today. But of course, I will go over the rules and whatnot first. So let's just kind of hop right into it. To start, I should note, I just realized, so I'm using a bunch of reference papers and whatnot. So pretty much all the papers you see here, there's this one for all the different rooms and corridors you can roll up the actual map with a reference there. This is the character sheet and also an encounter sheet. All of these are not official. I found them on Board Game Geek. They're like one of the top files on Board Game Geek. I didn't directly list them below, but after the stream, I will go ahead and put a link down in the description for these files if you want access to them, because I just have the book, and I mean, the book has sheets in the back. Well, I think I went by them. There's one for like your encounter sheet, character sheet for the 4 players, which I think these are improvements on these in pretty much every way. So I'm glad to be using these rather than what's in the book anyway. But I figured I'd note that real quick. So yeah, they're not currently in the description, but after the stream, I'll link them down below. All right, with that all out of the way, I think we can just go ahead and start doing a bit of a rules overview of For Against Darkness. Not gonna do a full rules overview like always, but I'll flip through most of the book, talk about it, stuff like that. So this was written and illustrated by Andrea Sifigoli. I feel bad if I'm gonna butcher that last name. I already pretty much did, so I'm just gonna Andrea. That's who made this. And actually, there's a bunch of other books for this. This is only the first book I will be playing here today, but as far as I'm aware, there are like a ton of extra like supplement books and pre-written adventures and all sorts of stuff for this game. So I'm only playing with the base book today, but maybe in future playthroughs, I'll get some more books to add into the mix. But this book just has the very bare bones, the basics. So let me maybe read through this introduction. So this is an old school dungeon bashing game that can be played with minimum space and equipment. You'll need a pencil, 2 dice, and graph paper. And you can also play on a dry erase whiteboard, or you even use any dungeon tiles in your possession. You can play it solo, or you can play it cooperatively, sharing the characters with friends. You control a party of 4 heroes who adventure into a dungeon generated by dice rolls. If you have miniatures, you may use them to mark the marching order, but this is not essential. This game can be played with 2 players, each running a party of dungeon explorers and taking turns generating 1 room each as their parties advance through different paths. In this case, roll a die to determine which party goes first every turn. So why 4? That's a good question. A party of 4 characters is the optimum to have enough variety of abilities. 4 characters are not too difficult to control for a single player and allow the occasional non-player character joining the party. If you want to play cooperatively, the game can work with a larger number with some modifications, yada, yada, yada. So that's why it's 4. It does allow for a good range of abilities. And yeah, as it says, these characters are pretty basic. They don't have a lot of abilities, a lot of crazy stuff going on. So it's not too bad to handle running 4 characters. Because normally I don't think playing a solo game, I've ever run 4 characters, maybe 2 max. I think 2 max is pretty much the most I've run for a solo game. So 4 may seem like a lot, but these characters are pretty easy to run. And it's not too bad. Length of a game would take a bit longer. First one will take a bit longer than an hour. After you familiarize yourself with the mechanics, a typical solo game lasts about 45 minutes, which I think that's pretty accurate. Mine tend to run a little bit longer, but I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. I feel like most games that I play, whenever I play them, they're always never shorter than the playtime, and they're never at the playtime. They're pretty much always longer. That's probably just a me thing. But also, like, playtimes, they're kind of hard to gauge. So monsters roll no dice. So all the rolls in the game are performed by characters. The power and danger level of a monster is indicated by a number that is the monster's level. When the characters attack, they perform attack rolls and compare them with the monster's level to determine if the monsters are killed. When it is the monster's turn to attack, your characters perform a defense roll versus the monster's level, taking a wound if they fail. It's pretty nice. I do like, there's a lot of things in this book I like, and I'll kind of note them as I go, but especially like comparing this to something like, even though it's not an RPG, comparing this to something like Dungeons and Dragons, I'll make a lot of notes of like stuff. There's a lot of really cool little systems and like mechanics in here that I really like. That I really do like. Monsters rolling no dice. It's kind of similar to like Ironsworn or something, where it's just like the characters are rolling all the dice. You know, if you're attacking, you're rolling attack. If you're getting attacked, you're rolling defense, but monsters don't roll dice. So dice codes, it uses a lot of dice codes and terminology. I guess, you know what? Let me zoom in a little bit on this. Maybe. There we go. So we can see this a little bit better. Since I'm just going over the book right now, that should make it a little bit, hopefully, easier to see. So yeah, this game just uses a D6. So you just need, ideally, at least 2, because you need 2 to roll up the map. But besides that, you could just use 1 and just roll it twice, but that's not as fun. One thing I love when games do, this appears in a couple of RPGs and similar style games, is explosive 6 rules. So whenever you roll a 6 performing any character action, you roll another d6 and then add the result to that total. This is cumulative, so if you roll another d6, you can roll again and add to the total. And with enough luck, you could hypothetically roll any number. So if you're trying to kill a monster, you could technically roll 120. You'd have to get really lucky to do 120 damage, but it is possible with this, which I think is pretty fun. This game looks pretty interesting. Monsters roll no dice. I like it. Yeah, me too. Hello from England. Hello there, Oil Parker from Ohio. How's it going? What time is it in England for you? I'm guessing you're ahead. Wait, you're ahead. I don't know, like 6 hours, 5 hours. I don't know. It's probably pretty late there in England, isn't it? But hello there. Other dice, yeah, this talks about in other future supplements that they use higher valued dice to represent your characters getting stronger, but for this game, all you need is a pair of d6. So pretty sweet stuff. So the party of characters, you have a party of 4 adventurers, each belonging to one of the following classes. So the classes is one thing that kind of gets me about this game. So your classes include warrior, cleric, rogue, wizard, barbarian, pretty standard stuff. But then you also have dwarf, halfling, and elf as classes, which I think is unique. I don't know if I've seen any other game that treats dwarf, halfling, and elves as classes and not as like races. It's interesting. Never seen a game do it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of more like it's fine. Like they have their own abilities and whatnot, so it's not like they're like useless, but it's just kind of odd to see a class that is dwarf right next to a class of like warrior or something. It's kind of odd, but you know, it works, I guess. It's just different than pretty much any other like game I play where you have like a class and a race. Like dwarf, halfling, and elves are always like the race, and then you choose the class, which is like a warrior. So it's a little strange, but you know, they each have their own abilities and whatnot, so it's all good. It's nearly midnight. Okay, 11:09. Oh, that's pretty late. Yeah. Okay, I guess I was kind of far off. I said like 5 or 6 hours. That's like 5 hours. Yeah. Dang. Okay. Well, I hope you're enjoying a nice late night stream as I continue to skim through these rules. So yeah, each character class has different abilities. They have different amount of health, different starting, gold, different equipment they can use, all that sorts of stuff, which I'll get over here in a second. Let's see what else I need to talk about. That's pretty much it for the party stuff. So each character starts at level 1. And yeah, so quickly going over the different classes, which I just kind of talked about. You got your warrior, which is your kind of standard fighter class. So they have different armor allowed, different weapons, stuff like that. You got your cleric. Cleric's one of my favorite classes, so I'll definitely be playing a cleric today. And they have some like healing and blessing spells that healing just heals, and blessing is to remove curses, or someone gets turned to stone. player can come in handy. You got your rogue. Rogue's good at disarming traps and being just overall pretty sneaky. Lock picking, that's right up Rogue's alley. You got your wizard, which are one of the few spellcasters in this game. They start with a certain number of spells. So that's wizards. What else we got? We got barbarian, classic barbarian, which like the fighter, but a little bit more. I'm not gonna say unhinged, but they don't have as good of armor, and they get some better. They have like their savage attack ability where they can just kind of go all out. So yeah, you got the barbarian to choose from. You have elf, which is more of a spellcaster and kind of long range, kind of a ranger type character, but also you have some like spells, which is the other class that you can get spells with. You got dwarf, which is another kind of frontline type character. They also have a couple of traits of dealing with money. So like dwarf can, before you even fight a monster, you can see what its treasure is, and also they get more from like selling gems and gold, so that's pretty neat. And then halflings are pretty lucky. They have like a luck ability, and I don't know if they have any other abilities, but the luck thing is kind of their main shtick. So yeah, those are all the different main classes. This has been on my Amazon wishlist for so long. Looking forward to seeing a playthrough. Should have way more viewers. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you. I've had this for a while too, to be honest. I've probably had this book for maybe a year, if not a couple of months, and I just got around to playing it this like last week finally. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got around to taking the dive and finally playing this, because it is fun. It's definitely different in a lot of ways than some of the other games I've played, and I've heard it referenced as an RPG, and it's really not, but it's still quite fun. I'm really also curious to see, like, there's a bunch of other supplements, so I'm wondering what they add, new classes, stuff like that. I'm really kind of anxious to dive into some of that now that I have the base game kind of figured out. Yeah, so onto equipment. So there's a lot of equipment. There's a decent amount, but it's pretty standard stuff. So you have your bandages, and everything's in gold. That's the only currency in this game is gold. There's not like silver and bronze and platinum. No, you just got gold, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. So you got bandages, which can heal up a character a little bit. One lost life, but you can only use those once per adventure. Blessing spell is just a way that you could go pay a local church to cast the blessing spell. You got your bows for bow and arrows. You got your hand weapons, your standard weapon like a sword or an axe. Heavy armor. It's armor that's heavy. It provides the most protection. Heavy armor is also designed to fit one wearer, so you may not reassign it to another character. You got your holy water vial for, I guess, just vampires is probably the main thing you need that for. A lantern, because one character in the party will have to have a lantern, so you can buy extra, I guess, if you need them. Light armor is kind of like what it sounds like. It's armor, but it's not quite heavy armor. You have your light hand weapon, which actually gives you a -1 to attack rolls, so it's light weapons aren't that great. Got potion of healing. So pretty much self-explanatory. Lets you heal up. Resurrection spell. Bring a character back to life, but that's also 1,000 gold, which is quite expensive. You have rope, which I guess tie up a defeated monster. You have shields, give you extra bonuses to your defense rolls. You got a sling for a ranged weapon, two-handed weapons, and that's all the equipment. As far as weapons go, you can either choose a crushing or a slashing weapon, and they have different options listed for if you're taking like a crushing light hand weapon, you'd take like a club, or a hand weapon would be like a mace, a two-handed weapon would be like a warhammer, stuff like that. And slashing weapons, I kind of talked about the differences. They're pretty much the same. They're thematically a little bit different, and also some monsters in the game will be treated differently based on these. Like, for example, crushing weapons, you get an extra bonus against skeletons because they're fragile, and crushing them, that's good. Or like slashing weapons, I think in this game there's like a troll character or troll monster that like you have to slash up, like you kill it, but then it will regenerate unless you like slash the remains into like little pieces. You can only do that with like a slashing weapon. So yeah, that's all that. Selling equipment, you pretty much sell at half cost. All right, so how to attack a monster? It's pretty straightforward. So each monster has a level. So for example, a goblin is level 3. If you're trying to attack them, you need to roll their level or higher. And if you're trying to defend against that, then you have to try to roll higher than that level. So in this little example, if a goblin is level 3, you need to roll a 3 or higher to wound him, or you need to roll a 4 or higher to properly parry his roll, his attack, or block him or whatever. So yeah, you have to meet or beat it on the attack, but you have to be over it for the defense roll. On your attack, you just roll pretty much everything in this game. You just roll a d6. And for your attack roll, then you just add any extra modifiers. Some characters add their level to their attack. If you have a weapon, you might get some bonuses from that. But that's pretty much it. You roll a d6, add your modifiers, and see if you beat or meet the level of the monster. That's all that. So then the monsters are pretty much come in 2 different types. You have your minions and you have your bosses. Minions kind of are, there's 2 different types of them. You have the actual just straight up minions, and then you also have vermin. And then for bosses, you have weird monsters, and then you have bosses. So there's kind of 4 different total types of creatures split up in these 2 categories of either minions or bosses. So minions are encountered in large numbers. Their class is minions or vermin. The only difference is that vermin do not give any XP when you defeat them, because they are annoying and that it can still be dangerous in large numbers, but they're mainly there to be a pest and to slow you down and not give you really any treasure or XP or anything. They're just there to make your life difficult. Though normally they're not that difficult. It's just draining extra resources and time and whatnot. So minions have 1 life each. Every successful attack kills 1 or more of them. So when an attack goes multiple times over a monster's level, the attack delivers more than 1 wound. So for example, if you're fighting, if your attack total is 8 against a group of level 3 minions, then you would kill 2 of them, because you kill the first one, then you still have 5 points extra that you can kind of carry over to another one, and then you would still have an extra 2 points that wouldn't really count against anything. So over damage does carry over to other minions, which is cool. And then when a group of minions loses more than half of its initial number, the remaining minions must make a morale roll, which is just a d6. Everything's pretty much a d6 in this game. And then if it's 3 or less, the monsters flee. You won. So this is something that could be easily forgotten about. I know my first playthrough, I kind of forgot to do this a couple of times. And it's pretty important because it kind of just shortens the fight, that if you took out 4 of the 5 goblins, then they're going to make a morale roll and see if they're going to be hanging around or not, which most of the time, well, I guess it's kind of a 50-50. Though some creatures might have a plus or minus to that roll, or some might not do that roll at all. Maybe they just always fight to the death. That's definitely a thing. So as far as bosses are tougher than minions. They have multiple life points like characters. Some perform more than 1 attack per turn. Every successful hit on a monster depletes 1 of their life points. When attack goes multiple times over the boss monster's level, the attack delivers more than 1 wound. So if your total is 9 for your attack against a level 4 boss, then you'd do 2 points of damage to it, since you could do that twice and you still have an extra point of damage, which just doesn't really do anything. But still, 2 points is a decent amount. And then bosses also do a morale roll. So whenever they lose more than half of their life points, first off, its level drops by 1, so it gets a little bit weaker, and then also it makes a morale roll. Same thing, if it rolls 3 or less, they're out of there, and you're just better off now. Fleeing monsters that flee from the game, they just disappear. You can't chase them, but you still gain their treasure, which is pretty cool. So, monster reactions. So this is one thing I do like about this game, I like this little idea that in general, your party has the option to act before the monsters. When you encounter monsters, you have one of 2 options, pretty much. You can either attack them right away, or you can let the monsters act first and see what they do. So every monster has a reaction table under its description that you roll a d6 to determine what the monsters will do. For minions, you make a single roll for the whole group. So a couple options. They might offer food and rest if they're a really nice monster, like probably not a monster at all. They could be peaceful. They could flee. They might flee if they're outnumbered. They might ask for a bribe, which you can bribe them off. They might just fight. They might fight to the death. They might pose a puzzle. They might give you a quest, they might have a magic challenge, or it could be something else. But I really like that idea that it's like, okay, you encounter a group of skeletons in a room. You have the option to just go ahead and start bashing those skeletons, or you could just kind of take a second and see what they do. Maybe they'll just run away. Maybe they're nice healing skeletons that they're gonna offer you a heal. So yeah, you kind of have that option, but also like most of the time, they're probably just gonna attack. So yeah, that's that. Then we have the whole room generator. So for actually generating the dungeon, they have this first page here, which is the entrance rooms, where you roll a d6 to see what the entrance of the dungeon is. And you draw it at the center lower edge of your sheet, and then choose a door and roll 2d6 to see what's on the other side of that door. Any room that is only 1 square wide is a corridor. Any room that is 2 or more squares, it's a room. So yeah, these are all the entrance rooms, and then these are all the different rooms and corridors that can be generated by rolling on stuff. So it does make for pretty good dungeons. Hopefully I'll get a decent dungeon as I roll along here, but yeah, it's quite a few options. Skeletons get a bad rep. Yeah, you know what they do. Maybe there's some good skeletons out there. You never know what they were like in their past life. Of the art in the book, yes, the art is it's very like, it's like old. It kind of reminds me of like an old style like RPG. It's very yeah, I don't know what the style is, but it just reminds me of like an old school kind of RPG type game. Next, this little section is all just a bunch of tables. So you have like a room contents table that you'll be rolling pretty much anytime you enter a room to see what's going on in the room. You got special features, special events, treasure table, magic treasure table, vermin table, the different vermin options. You got all the different minion options, the different boss options, weird monster table, quest table, epic rewards table. Lots of tables. Yeah, they're used for different things throughout the game. I'm not really gonna go over each and every one. Moving through the dungeon, let's see. Yeah, this game doesn't really mark time in any way. So if you do need to like mark the passage of time for some reason in game, you can assume that each generated room equals about 10 minutes of character time. If you run out of paper, then you kind of just, once a room like reaches the edge, you kind of just cut it off, or if a corridor goes somewhere, you kind of just make assumptions on what needs to happen. But if you run out of paper, you're kind of just, that's the edge of the dungeon. If you have no more room for rooms, then you still want to put as much of the room kind of as you can. It will still kind of count as a room, even if it's just like 1 square in size. You can rotate rooms as you please. Retracing steps is something that you'll most likely have to do at some point, going back through rooms you've already visited. And this is another thing I kind of like about this game, is that as you go back through rooms, you have to roll a d6, and on a 1, there's a wandering monster, which I think is pretty neat. That's like, okay, we came through this room earlier, but just because it was clear an hour ago doesn't mean there's not some wandering goblins around that might be in there now. So there's always a 1 in 6 chance whenever you go back through a room or a corridor that you've been in before, that there could be a little extra monster wandering around. So that's a thing that you're gonna have to worry about. And there's like extra rules for if you're re-entering a room where you bribed a monster, kind of what happens then. And then we got the final boss, which, unless you're playing a ready to run adventure, which today I will not be, your default mission is to slay the dungeon's final boss. So each time you meet a boss monster, you roll a d6 and you add 1 for every boss monster you've seen. And if it's 6 or more, that's the final boss. And that's the final boss. Also, the final boss will appear kind of if you run out of doors to open, the last room will just will have the final boss. And the final boss it also has an additional life point and an additional attack, and it will fight to the death. And you get some extra gold for killing the final boss. But killing the final boss is the main mission. But it's not the only thing you gotta do. You gotta kill the boss, and then you gotta get out of there. So that's part of the whole quest overall of this dungeon. It's like, okay, you gotta go through all this dungeon, get to the final boss, kill them. That's great. Hopefully it should be easy, but now you gotta retrace your steps and go back out through the dungeon, which you'll probably run into 1 or 2 wandering monsters along the way. Time limits, you can set yourself a time limit if you want, so you'll be like, I'll play for 45 minutes and then meet the final boss, and you could do it that way. But most of the time, I don't know, I just play till I either hit a final room or I hit the boss roll and see what happens then. Like I said, yeah, let's get out of here. Killing the boss is not enough. You have to actually make it out of the dungeon. So that's what that's talking about. Weird monsters get their own table. Oh yeah, there's some weird monsters in this. I can see why the system is popular. It makes sense. It has some great ideas. It really does. Like, it is. Yeah, it's not an RPG, but it has a lot of RPG elements, and also it's just like a lot of really cool and interesting like mechanics and features and whatnot. Some kind of weird stuff like the whole like elf and dwarf being a class is kind of odd, but it works. They make it work, and yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff in this for sure. And if anything else, there's a great dungeon generator for mapping out a dungeon, and got a great couple of tables in here for just good old random stuff. Splitting the party, you can do, and it's not ideal. It's not recommended, but you can do it. And if you do it, you pretty much have like double the chance of meeting a wandering monster, because every time you roll for the main party, you also have to roll wandering monsters for the character that left, or like the other part of the party. So like that's a thing. There's a whole section on fallen heroes. So if someone goes down, what happens with all their loot and stuff, and this kind of goes over that, which I'm not really going to go over because none of my characters are going to die today. I'm certain of that. So let's just not even talk about it. But it talks about how you can like what you can grab off of them, and like how you got to get them out, and how the marching order is all affected. But I'm not gonna go too much over that. There's rules for your characters turning to stone, because that is a thing that can happen in this game. Hasn't happened to me yet. Hope it doesn't happen today. But there's a bunch of rules for, well, if your character turns to stone, what happens? And what can the rest of the party do? So talks about all of that. And there's like a little extra part here about a rescue mission, where if your character, one of your guys is turned to stone, you can't get him out at the moment. So you finish the dungeon, leave, and then this talks about how you could do a rescue mission to come back to that dungeon to try to rescue your friend. So pretty cool stuff. Hopefully I won't have to deal with that today, but we'll see. Leveling up. So there's a couple ways you can level up in this game. Every time the party kills a boss, completes a quest, or survives 10 encounters with minions, not vermin, because vermin don't give XP, a character of your choice may attempt to level up. This is called an XP roll. You just roll a dice, D6, and then if the result is higher than the character's current level, the character levels up. If you slay a dragon as the final boss, you get 2 XP rolls, which is pretty nice. Halfling abilities to get like rerolls can't be used on this. There's certain things about you can't level up the same character twice in a row, and I kind of have to spread the XP rolls around. And what else? Maximum level in this book, at least, you can only go up to max level of 5. After that, you have to get one of the other supplements, because this book only has the first couple of levels and base abilities. So I think, let's see, once at this point your party is ready for the higher challenges found in the deeper dungeon supplement. So yeah, I guess there's a deeper dungeon supplement that adds new stuff. I don't know how many levels it goes up to, but I guess further than 5. So that's all that. It talks about if you're running like a campaign or a pre-written adventure, it might just prompt you to just do an XP roll at certain times. And the main thing with leveling up is, well, first off, you get to level up, and a lot of your abilities are based on your level. So for like warriors, you get to add your level, whatever number you are, to your attack rolls. So the higher level you are, the more you get to add. But the other main thing is you also get to increase your life. So you get some extra health points. But yeah, so you get an XP every time you defeat a boss or 10 minions. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, leveling up characters isn't all too complicated. Some cool art here, and good old page of spells. So there are 6 basic spells in the game. And Blessing may be cast by wizards and cleric. All the other spells may be cast by wizards and elves. Casting a spell is an action equivalent to attacking in combat. Spells may be cast during a melee. A spellcaster may attack in melee or cast a spell, but not both. So got your basic spells like Blessing, which I kind of talked about. It removes a curse from a character. A curse it can be gained from like a room or something. Fireball, classic spell, right? This little paragraph, I don't know why. I thought this cracked me up the first time I read it. I don't know why, but the spell works like an attack roll. The wizard adds its level to the roll. Fireball does not affect dragons, but it does affect zombie dragons. Obviously. Like, I don't know why, but I thought that was so funny. Like, I actually like laughed out loud the first time I read that because I was like, oh, of course. Like, I'm playing this game. Like, okay, fireballs does not affect dragons. Like, okay, I can see the reasoning behind that. Dragons breathe fire, so maybe they have like fire resistance. But then it's like, it does affect zombie dragons, which personally, I've never heard of a zombie dragon. I've heard of like, you know, types of dragons. Maybe there's like an undead type of dragon, but like a zombie dragon. And then apparently a fireball works on that. Like, okay, sure, I'll go with it. Yeah, used against minions, fireball slays a number of creatures equal to the wizard's die roll minus the level of minions. A minimum of always one creature is always slain. You also have the lightning bolt spell, which this spell works like an attack roll. Wizard adds its level. Against a group of minions, this spell will just kill one. If it hits against a boss, it inflicts 2 HP. You have a sleep spell where you can put a creature to sleep. Monsters put to sleep count as slain, which is pretty cool. You have the option to escape, so the wizard disappears from his current location and reappears in the first room of the game. Just a good old like escape rope type spell there. And then finally you have protect, so the spell gives a +1 to a single character's defense rolls for the whole duration of a battle. Pretty dang handy. There are scrolls in this game, so scrolls are just ready to cast spells. Any characters except barbarians may read the scrolls at a cost of 1 action and cast a spell. Barbarians can't because they can't read and they also fear magic, so not a good combo for scrolls for barbarians. But yeah, pretty much scrolls are always cast at level 1, no matter their actual level if they're not a spellcaster. So if my warrior picks up a fireball spell, it's going to be like a level 1 fireball. But yeah, spells can be just randomly found throughout the game. There's a random spell table here to like roll on if you're trying to generate a random spell. And then there's just stuff about additional spells and scrolls and whatnot. But yeah, it's nothing too important. You have to roll a zombie dungeon dragon at some point. I've never heard of one before either, nor understand why they fear fireballs. I guess maybe like some part of being alive is what gives them the fire resistance. And then once they died, something they lost. I don't know, but it just struck me as really odd and kind of funny of that whole like, oh, okay, fireball doesn't work against a dragon. I can see the logic, but then not a zombie dragon. I was like, I don't even know if there's zombie dragons in this game, and if there are, I don't think I want to encounter one, but whatever. Stranger the monsters, the better. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like having some unique monsters, and there's a whole table of weird monsters in here, so probably run into one of those at some point. All right, so it's encounters. So we kind of went over encounters a little bit earlier. This goes over them a little bit more in depth. I'll quickly skim through this. So when your party enters a room and you encounter a monster, you have 1 of 2 options. You can act first or wait and see what the monsters do. You attack immediately. Your characters can all perform attack rolls against minions. Divide them by level of your level of the monsters. Yada, yada, yada. Works pretty much the same. Your characters may attack in any order. Only the monsters that survive when your party's turn ends and the monster's turn begins get a chance to strike back. Against boss monsters, the procedure is the same, but each attack equals or beats the level of the boss, inflicts 1 wound on the boss. So if you do not attack immediately, you roll on the reaction table for the minion or whatever you're fighting to see what happens. Marching order is a thing that you have to keep in mind with this game. So you must decide in which order the characters are marching in the dungeon. You can use miniatures or just write it down. You may change the marching order every time you are in an empty room or a corridor. You may not change while fighting. Yeah, the main reason is that is just because, yeah, corridors are small. I think maybe I didn't talk about it earlier, but I think somewhere it mentions that corridors, maybe it's somewhere else, but corridors are small. They can only fit 2 characters side by side, so you will have like your 2 characters in front, 2 characters in back when going through a corridor. So that's why marching order is important, because if there's a monster in the corridor, or if you get jumped by a wandering monster at some point, marching order comes into place. So yeah, so okay, well, it's actually this next sentence. I should have just kept reading because it's right here. Yeah, a corridor is large enough to allow 2 characters to walk side by side, so a group of 4 characters will have 2 characters in front and 2 in the rear. And it talks about like party 3 characters or party 2 characters, yada yada yada. So yeah, in a corridor, only characters in places 1 and 2 can fight, while characters in spots 3 and 4 can only cast spells or attack over the heads of their friend if they have something like a bow or a sling. Same restrictions apply to monsters. So when you encounter a group of monsters in a corridor, only 2 of them will be able to attack your characters. So it kind of helps you out. Marching order in rooms is pretty irrelevant since rooms are big and you'll be able to kind of disperse once you get into a room. When do monsters attack? Well, after all the characters in the party have performed 1 action each, which your main actions are either going to be attacking, casting a spell, or healing. It's the monster's turn to attack, if any have survived. And once again, the monsters do not roll dice. Those characters who are attacked make defense rolls against the monster's level. The defense roll is modified by armor, shields, and the character's level in the case of rogues. A roll of 1 is always a failure. A roll of 6 is always a successful defense. Certain attacks will negate the bonus of shields or armor. Surprise attacks from wandering monsters who sneak up the party negate the bonus from shields. So yeah, defense roll, if you're successful, you roll a 6 or just higher, you're good, no damage is taken. If you fail, you're gonna take a wound, you're gonna take a point of damage. Some monsters, some particularly boss monsters, will possibly inflict 2 wounds on a character, so that's something you gotta keep in mind. Who is attacked? There's all this stuff about who to target when attacking people, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If there's fewer monsters than characters, then each monster will attack a different character. Marching order is ignored. If there's just as many, then each monster attacks 1 character. And if there's more, then you kind of can choose. In the corridor, only 2 monsters are going to be attacking. Yeah. Some more cool, classic art style stuff going on. Running away from combat. So sometimes your party will be so beat up that you want to run away from an overwhelming opposition. And there's kind of 2 main options. You can withdraw, or there's the flight option. So withdrawal is when your party slowly retreats to any room at its back, slamming the door shut and leaving the monster on the other side. Make a note of where the monsters are. They are still there if you enter that room again. Withdrawal is only possible if the characters have a door to slam shut between themselves and the monster. During a withdrawal, the monsters get to strike once at the characters, but the characters have a +1 on their defense roll. And flight is just where your party runs away. As they do so, each monster will attack once. Each character must make a defense roll. The bonus from shields do not apply. There's enough, okay. Well, yada, yada, yada. So those are your 2 main options. You can kind of slowly back away. They'll get a chance to attack, but you got to have a door to slam, or you can just straight up run away, but then they're all going to attack. So yeah, but you do have the options, so that's good, I guess. When monsters flee, something to keep in mind. So sometimes monsters will run away from combat due to a failed morale roll or some other game effect. When this happens, each character may perform 1 attack at +1 at the fleeing monster. In most cases, you can ignore this rule because it doesn't make a difference. The fleeing monster counts as defeated anyway, so you'll get their XP and gold and treasure. So if they're running away, you don't have to attack them. It's not going to make any difference. They're gone from the game. You'll get their treasure. You'll get the XP. But most of the time I found, I'm like, well, if I'm close to killing some monsters and they're running away, like, I just finish them off. I don't know. Might as well. So when does combat end? Well, either when all monsters in the room have been killed, all the monsters have fled, all the characters have been killed, or all the party has decided to break off from combat and leave the room. So those are the kind of 4 main ways combat ends. When it comes to looting, so when your party defeats a monster in the room, they make a roll on the treasure table. Some monsters have more treasure than others, so some have a treasure roll modifier. For example, if the monster's profile says treasure -1, you roll a d6, you subtract 1. Some monsters don't have treasure at all. You make 1 roll per encounter, not 1 roll per monster. So if you encounter 10 skeletons, you're not getting 10 treasure, you're just getting 1. But that's just how it goes. You distribute the loot as you see fit. Wandering monsters never have any treasure. Stuff about carrying, what you can carry. Pretty much each character can carry up to 200 gold, 2 shields, 3 weapons, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. Characters carrying more of this have a -1 on their defense rolls. So there's the option of searching rooms. So all dungeons have secrets. Whenever an empty room is generated, you may decide that it is not the case and roll on the table below. A room may be searched only once. Mark it with an S when you search it. And when you search corridors, roll a -1. So roll a d6 on a 1, a wandering monster appears. On a 2 to 4, the room is empty. Or on a 5 or 6, you can choose to either find a clue, a secret door, or a hidden treasure, which we'll go over secret doors and clues here in a second. And I guess hidden treasure also in a second. But first, it's going to talk about good old wandering monsters. So wandering monsters are the security guards of the dungeon. They roam about using the secret passages or hiding in the shadows until foolhardy adventurers pass by. When the rules call for wandering monsters, you roll a d6 to see what type of monsters are attracted. So could be vermin, could be minions, could be a weird monster, or could be a boss monster, but a wandering monster may not be the final boss. And wandering monsters sneak up on the party. They'll automatically attack first, and characters don't get the shield bonus because they're like surprised or whatever. And yeah, if you are in a corridor, then the wandering monster will attack the rearmost characters. And if you're in a room, then that doesn't really apply. And I think that's it for wandering monsters. All wandering monsters roll morale when the situation calls for it. Yep, that's that. Secret doors, secret tunnel. You find a secret door or a passage. So you draw it on one side of the room. You roll up another room on the other side of that door, and then you can spy into the room and determine its contents before stepping in, and you can decide to leave it alone if you want to. Any treasure you find behind the secret door, its gold pieces are doubled. If you decide to enter the secret room, any monsters in the room will be surprised, so you can reduce their level by 1. You find a secret door, roll a dice, and on a 6, congratulations, you have found a safe shortcut out of the dungeon. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I like this idea of like searching rooms. You got the wandering monsters, secret doors. Yeah, it's good stuff. Got hidden treasure. It's the other thing you can find when searching for a room. And searching the room yields a lucky find. A loose brick or floorboard hides 3d6 times 3d6 gold pieces, which is kind of a lot. However, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Before determining the amount of gold found, roll on the hidden treasure complication. So there's all these complications that can happen because you're not just going to find free gold in the dungeon. And then the last thing is a clue. So a character found a clue for something big. Write clue on the character's character sheet. And when the character has 3 clues, your character has discovered a major secret. The character makes an XP roll and gains a level if he succeeds, and then also chooses one of the following effects to represent the secret discovered. This whole little clue system, it's pretty cool. It's not going to come up a whole lot. Clues are not very common in the game, but when you get 3 clues, you have kind of a lot of options about what the clues you found do, and they're pretty. I think they're all pretty significant in their own way. So, for example, I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'll briefly read through them. So you have the clue could be a weakness of a monster. So when you meet a boss monster of your choice, you have +2 to attack that monster. The bonus lasts for the whole duration of the combat, not a single attack, and all characters in the party get to enjoy that bonus. That's a pretty good clue. So yeah, if you figure out the weakness of a zombie dragon, then you could tell your whole party about it, and everybody gets +2 the next time you encounter a zombie dragon. So that's pretty neat. You can just deal with a monster. So When you encounter a monster, you may declare that you have a deal with that creature. This monster will let you and your party pass through the room without attacking any time that you need to. You may not, however, take the monster's treasure. I think that's pretty cool. So you get some really interesting stuff like that. So you can also, it could be location of a secret treasure, location of a magic item, the name of a spiritual entity, a new spell, secret to increase magical or spiritual power. The secret could be a location of a scroll, a recipe of a potion, a terrifying secret. Someone will pay big money for that. You have your enemies in the dungeon. Someone has been imprisoned. You're descendant from a bloodline of dragon slayers. Maybe you find a secret diet. Like, there's a lot of different options, and a lot of these provide some really good benefits and bonuses. So clues are really cool. It's not something I've messed with much because I haven't encountered them in the games I've played so much, but they seem really neat. So those are all the options. Clues are discovered by a single character, but we can assume that he shared the clues with his companions. So if a character dies, you can move that clue onto another character's profile. And that's that. Traps. There's traps in this game. There's a little trap table here, and these are all the descriptions of traps. You have stuff like a dart, poison gas, trapdoor, bear trap, spears coming out of a wall, and a giant stone block are all different types of traps you can encounter. Rogues can disarm traps. So if you have a rogue leading the marching order, then they get a chance to detect and disarm a trap before it can attack the party. The rogue rolls a d6 at this level. If it beats the trap's level or rolls a 6, they notice the trap, disarm it, and they're good. They don't have to deal with the trap. So it's one thing rogues are pretty good at. Let's see what else we got. Locked doors. This is an optional rule. Probably won't be using it today, just to keep things moving along. So you may roll a dice for every door that appears in a room. On a roll of 1 to 2, that door is locked. So you can roll a d6 to see the level of lock from 1 to 6, and you mark the door with an L. It says you may find it tedious to roll for every single door, so consider this an optional rule. The door will have a level determining how hard it is to bash down, and then you have 2 options. You can bash down the door, or you can use a rogue to lockpick the door. And there's rules for both of those. You can also bash it down with magic. Lockpicking the door is pretty straightforward. But that's an optional rule. Like I said, probably won't be using it today. There's a little stuff for saving rules where you have to roll against something. So, which is it's not that much different than any other rule. So I'm going to see. This isn't really that much different than any other rules. It's just like, so it just says in some cases, the rules instruct you to save versus a specific attack. The name of the attack is normally just a description. What counts as the target number. So there'll be a target number that you have to roll a d6. And if you roll better or the target number, then nothing happens. But if you roll lower, you suffer the consequences. So pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. Things to remember. So I kind of talked about this a little bit, but one of your characters in the party has to to carry a lantern. These dungeons are not well lit. You're not gonna be able to see anything without a lantern. So somebody has to be carrying a lantern in their hands. And if that person dies, someone else has to pick up the lantern. A party without a lantern has -2 on all attacks and defense rolls and can't use ranged weapons. And the only thing without a lantern the party can do is trace its way out of the dungeon. So lantern's kind of important. So you kind of have to properly prepare that, having one of your characters, their hands could be taken up the whole time with just holding out a lantern. That's pretty much the only point I wanted to talk about here. Let's see what else. Yeah, no, that's that, I think. Everything else I talked about. So there is extra rules here to make this an RPG kind of RPG light option, where you can kind of make it more like an actual RPG, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to play it kind of as written. There's a nice little frequently asked questions section down back here, which I've has some really good questions and answers. There's all these shorthand symbols for room contents, which I'm glad they have them. I haven't used them. If anything, I'll just maybe write out like what's in the room, but yeah, I don't really use those. There's the player sheet and the minions sheet, which, like I said, I have my own versions from Board Game Geek that I printed out. Little table here, which I also have on my map sheet about you roll d6 to see, or sorry, you roll 2d6 for the room and then 2d6 to see what happens. If it's a corridor, you look on this side. If it's a room, on this side, and that tells you what's in the room or corridor. And that's pretty much it. In the back, there's just a bunch of quick references and tables. And then that's the end. So that's the rules. And I will zoom my camera back out and start creating characters and whatnot, which I've already got some names and classes down. So I was kind of thinking about this a little bit beforehand, and also to speed the process up a little bit. So got my 4 characters all here, and I guess maybe I can zoom back in a little bit. So the characters I'll be playing are Rai, the Barbarian, Ferric, the Rogue, Rulin, the Cleric, and Torum, the Warrior. So I've already got some names and classes picked out, written down, all that good stuff. And then I'll kind of go one by one and fill in some of the details, starting with Rai, the Barbarian. So Barbarians add their level to their attack roll, so I'll just kind of write in this spot plus L for adding their level. A barbarian may not use magic items, scrolls, or potions. May gradually accept healing from a cleric, since that's technically not magic but divine favor, and may use holy water. One of the main barbarian traits is that once per game, a barbarian may perform a rage attack. During a rage attack, you roll the attack die 3 times and then choose the best result. So I will write that. Rage attack. Roll. Maybe I'll write that down here as well, just so I can kind of track once I use it once. I'll kind of just fill in the circle. That sounds good. Starting equipment. Let's see, so I can get light armor, shield, and a hand weapon. I can trade in the shield and a hand weapon for a 2-handed weapon, which I will definitely do. So they'll have some light armor, which will be equipped, which will give me a +1 on my defense rolls. And then I will also grab some 2-handed weapon. I'll probably use something like a glaive, which is a 2-handed slashing weapon, I believe. And that will give me a +1 to my attack rolls. So every time I do my attack roll, I essentially add 2. 1 for my level and 1 for my weapon. I think that the only other thing left, okay, so they start with 8 life points. And then finally, I gotta roll up some gold, which they just get 1d6. And I rolled the wrong dice. I've grabbed a d4. Okay, I rolled a 3. So Rai starts with 3 gold, and that is 1 character created. Let's go and do the other ones real fast. Where the heck is Rogue? All right, Rogue. So Rogue adds his level to disarm traps and to his defense rolls. So I'll go ahead and write that over here. Plus L to disarm traps. And then also a rogue adds his level to attack rolls only when attacking an outnumbered minion. So if the party is more numerous than a group of minions. L attack. Okay, I'll just jot that down, that whenever their party is outnumbering the minions, they get plus L. So they will be what is their starting equipment? Rope, lockpicks, light armor, and a light-handed weapon. So rope is used to tie up creatures. Lockpicks, not really going to use because I'm not going to run to any locked doors. Light armor. Well, I mean, lockpicks still might be useful. I don't know. So light armor gives me a +1 on my defense rolls. And then finally, a light hand weapon, which they're rogues, so I'm going to have to go with a classic dagger. And light hand weapons, I think that gives me a -1. Yeah, it gives me -1 to attack roll, which kind of sucks. Because yeah, hand weapons are kind of the base. Light hand weapons are worse. If you attack with your bare hands, that would be a -2. That's why it's only -1. Okay, I think besides that, that's it for rogues. Oh, well, hold on, not yet. I still have to write in the life points, which they start with 4 out of 4, and then they get 3 d6 gold pieces. So let me roll that up real fast, and I got 10 total. That's not bad. Next up is the cleric. So they're going to have a couple abilities to write in. So let me see. Life points, they start with good old 5 out of 5. Now let's go ahead and do their gold next. They only get 1 d6. And that was a 6. All right, so they get max amount of gold. Clerics are a little weird with their traits, so they add only half of their level rounded down to their attack roll. But when they attack undead creatures, they get to add the full level. So it's kind of a weird notation, but yeah, it's half rounded down of their level. Oh, also, this rogue is who's going to have the lantern. So I will go ahead and highlight that, circle that in, whatever. Plus L versus undead because they're a cleric. And let's see, their starting equipment is light armor, shield, and hand weapon. They can trade out the shield and hand weapon for a 2-handed weapon, which I don't think I will. So I'll write in the good old light armor, which will give them a +1 to defense rolls, which is always helpful. I'll just star that. Then they also will have a shield, so they'll actually have +2. Guess I'll have to change that. Forgot they had a shield also. And then I'll give them a mace as their like one-handed weapon. Does each character have a lamp? Have a lamp in their inventory? Or is there just one pastor? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's just one lamp for the whole party. I mean, you could buy more, so you could have like 2 characters carrying lamps in case one goes down, or if you want to like split up the party. But yeah, your one character has to have a lamp in their hand at all times to pretty much function at all in this, because it's 4 against darkness. You know, there's darkness around. You need a lamp to see. So, yeah. What else? So we got that level. What else? Oh, cleric, of course, has their healing and blessing abilities. So I'll write that down here. You get blessing and healing, which can both be used good old 3 times, which is kind of a lot. And I think that's it for the cleric. And then finally, the warrior, who is the easiest to get set up here. So they have 7 health. They get 2 d6 gold pieces, which that's crazy. That was a legit roll, I swear. 12 gold. All right. Then what else? Attack. Warriors get to add their attack. And what kind of weapon are they going to have? Hand weapon. We'll give them a 2-handed weapon so that they'll attack with a L+1, essentially. And then, so they get, what's their equipment? Light armor. So they'll get a good old +1 to their defense rolls. And then I'll give them like a 2-handed sword. That's the +1. And I think that's it. Our characters are done. Zoom back out. All right. And that's that. We got our party: a barbarian, a rogue, a cleric, and a warrior. I kind of wanted the marching order to be left to right, but I'm going to change it a little bit. I am going to have the rogue lead the marching order, barbarian next, and then 3 and 4. Mainly because with the rogue leading the marching order, then any traps that come up, they'll be able to deal with. So, and they have the lantern, so maybe that kind of makes sense. I don't know. It does matter. I was gonna say it doesn't really matter. It kind of does matter with the marching order, but yeah, with that all out of the way, I think we're more or less ready to get going. So yeah, I got my nice little dungeon page here. So it has all the squares, and then it has the nice little chart here that you can just reference the rooms. Yeah, hopefully I won't need to use the book all too much. I mean, I'm definitely gonna need a lot of the tables out of here, but at least for building the dungeon, a lot of this is right here and here. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and start up. Well, I guess there also, before entering the dungeon, if I wanted to, I could have the characters spend any gold to get some equipment, which right now we don't have a lot of gold and we're doing all right on equipment. So I'm not too worried about doing that right off the bat. So I think I'll pass on that for now. And we'll just roll a d6 to see how this dungeon's gonna start. And I rolled it out of my dice tray. All right, that's a 3. So this little room will be the starting area. So I'm gonna quickly sketch that out, which will take me a second or two. So that goes, what, 3 over, and then 2 up. Something like that. Cool. And maybe I should, that should be all right. I don't have any, like something to like mark where the party is at. See if I have anything like within arm's reach. No, that's not any good. A bag of like change. This all sucks. I just want like a little token or something I could place somewhere. It's a game I could steal a token from real fast. Hold on. Try to find like what's like a small. I could just use like a dice. I got extra dice around. I just wanted something kind of use like a D4. Just to mark whatever room we're in. I don't want it taking up that much space. Whatever. Maybe once I take a break later, I'll go grab like a better marker for the party. But yeah, we're starting out in this little like forked room. So we have basically 3 different passages we can go down and see what's down there. I think I'll just start with the left passage. So I guess I can zoom in a little bit more on that. But yeah, we're chilling in here, entering that way. I'm gonna roll in that passage and see what it's gonna be. So I rolled a 23, which is this. Okay, so there's gonna be a door there. And then it goes up, what is that, 4? To a bit of a long hallway into a pretty big room. That goes 1 and 3. Then another door there. And then 2 across. Okay. Boom. So go through our first doorway and let's see what's on the other side. Rolling up these 2 d6, we get total of 7. So you add those together, it gives me total 7. And you look at the room side and that we are going to encounter some minions in this first room. Exciting stuff right off the bat. Oh boy, and it's a 6. Probably like the worst minions out there. We'll be facing off against some fungi folks. Okay, so I rolled 2d6, so we're facing off against 8 of them. There's gonna be 8 of these things. Great. So at this point, we're in this room, so I will go ahead and swap these out. Put this up here because we don't really need this anymore. We got our characters, and then underneath we have our encounter table. So this is our first minion encounter against these fungi folk. Whoops. And then let's see, they are level 3. That we're gonna be facing off against 8 of them. Let me go ahead and kind of get these ready. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This may not be the exact way you're supposed to use these little like circles and whatnot, but it's what I like doing is like, I like to kind of circle them and outline them to show which, you have 8 here, and then I just slowly fill them in as I hopefully take them out. But yeah. All right, let me zoom back a little bit. So fungi folk, let's see. The reactions on a 1 to 2, they could ask for a bribe, or on a 3 to 6, they're gonna fight. So I mean, there's a good chance they're gonna fight, and if they ask for a bribe, I probably don't have enough gold. So I think, you know what? We're just gonna fight these guys. I'm not even gonna let them I'm not gonna give them a chance to react. We're just gonna go in and start fighting. All right, so I can attack in any order. I'll have my barbarian go first, attacking with their glaive. Let's see what they can do. So I'll be adding 2 to this because I had my level +1, and that is a 6. First roll, explosive 6. That means I get to add roll again. That's a 5, so that is 11 plus 2. That is 13 total. And so that means since these are level 3, my barbarian takes out 4 in one swing. Man, they came in ready for this dungeon. They just right off the bat took out half of them, right? In the first attack, took out half. Since half have been taken out, we do a morale roll. So there's a chance after the first attack, these guys just might be out of here. Do I roll 3 or less? I do. I roll 1. So these fungi folk are just on the run. Yeah, I guess at this point I won't attack anymore because they're fleeing, so they're essentially defeated. Wow, that was that was a pretty quick encounter. Got 2 good rolls, and that allowed me to wipe out half of them. Yeah. All right, I'm not complaining. Barbarian came in clutch. So then, as far as treasure, they just have normal treasure. So that means I just roll a d6 unmodified and see what I get. A 5. So that means I get an item of jewelry worth 3d6 times 10. Okay, not as good of a roll. So that's 7 total. So I get a piece of jewelry worth 70 gold. But you know what? We'll let the barbarian have that since they did all the hard lifting there. Or heavy lifting. They did all the hard work. That's what I meant to say. So, first room complete. Wow, good job, Rye and Barbarian. Great job. All right, well, swap these 2 papers out. And we'll see, I guess, what's behind this door in this room. So next 2, that is a 1 and a 1. So we're just finding some corridor. So at least there's a couple more doors here. We can out to some stuff. Another door. And let's see what's in this hallway. Let me use maybe these dice are probably a bit easier to see. So that's a 9 total. So this corridor is empty. It is empty. Well, if it's empty, I could search it, but then there's always a chance of a wandering monster or something. But let's, but there's only a 1 in 6 chance. What are the odds, right? I mean, it's probably fine. A 2. I think a 2 means it's empty. Yeah, 2 to 4 is an empty room. So we'll just draw, I guess, an S in the room. For that, it has been searched. So I can continue going straight. I can go left. I can go right. Lots of options, which I do like. We're chilling in this little hallway. I think I will have us go through this door on the left. Maybe there's something cool over there. Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe not another corridor. That'd be nice. 62. It is another, like, intersection. Okay. Just this little, like, cross intersection. Which, once again, it's going to give me a lot of options, which is great, but Yeah, I don't know. So let's see what's in this corridor first. So 10 for a corridor that is empty. Let's go ahead and search it. Why not? A 5. I think a 5's good, right? 5 is good. 2 to 4 is empty. It's one of the tables. It seems like most of the tables are in the back of the book, but then there's like 2 or 3 that aren't. I don't know why they didn't. Always have to like reference them. Yeah, 5. I can either find a clue, a secret door, or a hidden treasure. Let's see if we let's say we find a clue. Sure. We'll give that to the, I don't know. We'll give it to a cleric. What's nice is this these character sheets at the bottom have rooms for clues. So you just mark off a little bubble in the box, and once you have 3, you've discovered a whole clue. And this room has been searched. You know what? Wait, do I still have? I had one in here. Gosh dang it. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab a different little marker for this instead of a D4. I'll be back in like, I don't know, like a minute, less than a minute. Back already. Okay. And I got these. I think most of these are from Pandemic when I harvested my copy of Pandemic for like parts to use in other games. So I got this little cube, which is perfect because it's a lot smaller, and it should hopefully be a little bit, maybe not easier to see, but yeah, a little bit not as cluttered. So yeah, we're chilling in this hallway. I can go south or north. We'll go south and see what's down here. So let's roll this. 54 gives us, that won't really fit. That's not gonna fit. That's this one, which doesn't really doesn't fit down that way. Yeah, I think I'll just re-roll. I don't know. Probably make it work. 52. You know, these are gonna work if I'll roll one more time. I don't know what to do if I keep getting stuff that doesn't work. 65, that one works. And I'm gonna invert it so it's a bit more away from this room, so I actually have more room to draw. But it's corridor going down 3, and then over 3, and then down 3 more. Okay. I know lots of corridors here, but that's okay. So we'll head down here and see what's in this corridor, which is 3 total. Oh boy. It's a trap. It's a trap. So one on the traps table gives us a 4, meaning the trap is a good old bear trap. Okay. A bear trap is level 4, but my rogue is leading the party, so I have a chance to disarm that trap, which is pretty nice. We'll see if they're actually able to do it. Let me double check the rules. Get a chance to detect and disarm traps. The rogue rolls a d6, adds its level. If it beats the level the trap's level, he notices the trap and disarms it. So I have to beat the level. I can't just meet it. I have to beat it. So for this, I would need, what did I say the bear trap was? It's a 4. So I would need a 5 or higher. And I get to add just 1 to this roll. Let's see if it works out. That is a 4 total. So the rogue noticed the bear trap, but wasn't quick enough to react to the bear trap. So what's happening? Hitting the character in the marching order for how much? Oh, I forget what the traps are. I was just at the page. There it is. Bear trap. The character must roll a d6 to try to beat the level of the trap. Failing the roll, has their foot caught in the bear trap. The character loses 1 life and has a -1 attack and defense rolls until the lost life is recovered. Oh. That's not good. What the heck? All right. Okay, let me We are my rogue already had a -1 to attack roll, so now they're gonna have -1 to both. Right? Is that what it said? And the limping character will roll at -2 against other bear traps or trapdoors. Oh, geez. So now my rogue is even worse at traps. It couldn't detect a bear trap, and now it's only going to make them worse. I mean, I do have my healing spell that my cleric could use to heal up the rogue. Is this only like the second or third room? Like this, I don't know if that would be great using healing already. But you know what? I think it would be worth it. So yeah, let me heal up. I think is probably the move. Let me double check how the healing spell works. I assume you probably like roll a d6 and heal that much. I forget exactly. So, and it's not in this part, of course. It's in the cleric section because it's a cleric only spell. Okay, use the healing spell 3 times. This power allows the cleric to heal a number of life points equal to d6 plus its level. Oh, it's plus the level. Doesn't really matter because they only lost 1 point. So that's 2, 3. So they heal up. Okay, good. I really didn't want to deal with that. So I used one of my healings, but then the rogue is back to full health and doesn't have that negative bonus anymore. Because that would suck. Worst rogue ever. Yeah, well, maybe they'll start getting better. But I mean, they weren't going to be any better with a limping foot and be worse at traps. So I figured I better use one of my spells to heal them up. They'll end up saving the party. Hopefully they'll have a whole comeback story. They'll disarm some crazy trap on the way out after like barely defeating a boss or something. I don't know. But okay, well, that corridor is dealt with. So let's see what's in this door right below it. Which is 56. Oh boy, that's like a big room. A huge room. How far off to the side does that go? Because I don't know if I have enough space for that. I do. Okay, just barely. That goes over 1 and down 5. Jeez. 2, 4, 5. And pretty much goes all the way over. Yeah, really, this is just hitting the edge of the paper, but that's okay. Shrink the room a little bit. That's fine. We'll just kind of squeeze it in down there. That means there's a door that kind of goes out the bottom. And then there's that door up top. Okay. Well, what's in this bottom little room? Well, not little. This is actually a pretty big room. It's 8 total. And 8 in a room means we're facing some more minions. That's a 6 again. That means we're probably facing, that's more fungi folk, right? Yeah, more fungi folk. How many are we facing this? Okay, only 4 this time. So my barbarian can take them out in 1 hit instead of 2. So I swap out that up there, that up here. Minion encounter 2 with fungi folk. Got 4 of them. They're level 3. Let me mark this down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not gonna see what their reaction is. I'm gonna have the barbarian go first again. Good old Rye. Let's see if we can take him out in 1 hit again. Give me another 6. That'd be crazy. That's a 3. I'll still take that. That's +2, 5 total. So I at least take out 1 of them. I guess I'll have my rogue go next, even though they have oh, at this point we're outnumbering them. So I just have a base. I have a -1 and a +1, so those cancel out. So just a straight roll, 3, which is enough to, that is their level. So that is enough to take out another fungi folk. And at this point, taking out 2 of the 4. So we have to do a morale roll. And that is a 4. So that means they are going to keep fighting. They don't care that they just lost 2 of their fungi friends. Let's see what the cleric can do. I'll be adding nothing to this roll, so just a straight roll. That's a 2, which is a swing and a miss. And then finally my warrior, little Torum, there will be adding 2 to this roll. That's a 2, so 4 total. Takes out 1 more, leaving 1 remaining. So they're gonna attack somebody. Maybe I'll pick it at random. I'll just roll D4 for the marching order to see who gets hit. Probably gonna be the rogue. No, it's not. It's the warrior. Warrior's gonna have to do a defense roll. I have +1, so let's see what I get. That's a 4. +1 is 5. Pass the defense check, and then that's it for their turn. They did their one attack. Back to my party's turn. I'll have the barbarian go again. +2. That's a 2. A 4 total, beats their level 3 and takes out the last fungi folk. Nice. Pretty easy stuff. They have normal treasure, so a D6 roll gives me a 1. So they had 3 gold pieces on them. Who is the least gold? The barbarian. All right, we'll give the barbarian a bit more gold. So they'll be up to 6 gold. All right, so that is it for that room. And this part of the dungeon is kind of at a dead end here. So let me switch these back around. And we need to start retracing some steps to go back to some other corridor. So going back into this corridor, since we're walking back through the dungeon, I have roll a D6. On a 1, there's a wandering monster. So hope there's not. There's a 1. So last time we encountered a bear trap in this hallway. Now we're encountering a wandering monster. I just rolled that away. That's a 6. Oh no, that can't be good. That's, I think, a boss, right? It's the boss wandering monster. Oh God. This is one of the, why isn't this, I wish this table was in the back. Yeah, 6 is I have to roll on the boss monster table. Reroll any dragon. Okay. I guess those fungi folk were too easy. The game said not enough. Oh no, I'm facing Medusa. This is not good. This is not good. I've not had to face Medusa yet, so we'll see how this goes. We're chilling in this hallway with the bear trap. So this is a boss. So Medusa, let's see. Level 4 and they have 4 hit points. So I go ahead and mark that. Man, some of my characters are about to get turned to stone, aren't they? That's gonna suck. And remember that they're gonna attack first and that I don't get bonuses from shields. What else? So they have 4 life points, level 4, treasure +1, all characters at the beginning of the battle. Oh gosh, here we go. All characters at the beginning of the battle must save versus a level 4 gaze attack or be turned to stone. Petrified characters are out of the game until a blessing spell is cast on them. Rogues add half their level to their save. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I've not faced a Medusa before, so this is not great. Do they only attack once? They attack twice? They only get 1 attack. What is this first check that's going to be tricky? And we triple check, but I'm pretty sure from what I said earlier that if you roll equal to the number, that's okay. Yeah, if you roll the target number or better. So I just need to roll at least 4 for my characters to not be turned to stone. All right, here we go. Barbarian first, turned to stone. Yes, they've been turned to stone. My rogue. And what do I get to add? What did it say? Rogues add half their level to the save. I assume rounded down, so they don't really get any bonus. So is my rogue turned to stone? My rogue has been turned to stone. This ain't good. Cleric, please don't. You're the only one that has the blessing spell. Please don't be turned to stone. Please don't be turned to stone. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? My warrior is the last one left. If they're turned to stone, this is a TPK. This is a total party kill. And I don't have anything I could do to help this out. I just gotta hope for the best. I need 4 or higher. They all rolled 3s. They all rolled 3s. Well, that's it. We won. Everybody turned to stone, and that's the end of this dungeon. That's the end of this adventuring party. They all were petrified. Wow. Was not expecting that at all. They all failed. They just need to get 4 or higher, and they all failed. It's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. Game over, man. Game over. Just go rip these up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, glad I printed off a good amount of copies of these. I was like, well, there's a chance, you know, characters could die. I gotta maybe I'll keep. I'm gonna keep this character sheet because I think I'm pretty much gonna make the same party. I'll use the same names and the same classes. I'm obviously not gonna carry over like the stuff we got, but I liked that party I had, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, or something. I don't know. Let me start getting some more papers out, I guess. Man, oh man. Brutal game. Indeed. I'll be honest, I've played this like not a whole lot. I've played maybe 2 or 3 dungeons now. I've never once encountered a Medusa, and that was the first time. And then I didn't roll terribly, but I just needed 4 or more, and I rolled 3 every single time. So what are you gonna do? Okay. Well, shoot. New party are the kids of the first party looking for revenge. I like that idea. They're all just named like, I'll add Junior to the name of everybody. So it'll be like Rye Junior, Ferric Junior. Just add Junior to everybody's name. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, okay, let's start recreating my party, I guess. Rye Junior, class, barbarian. I gotta copy all this down again. That shouldn't take that long. Level 1, they had 8 health. I guess I need to re-roll their gold. That's the only thing. Maybe there's a better chance I'll get more gold this time. I don't know. It's just 1d6, so that's 4 gold. Attack is plus L plus 1. Defense is plus 1. Rage attack. Alright, so then I gotta re-equip my light armor. And what did I have? A glaive was the main weapon. Oh man, I also lost the one secret I gained. I'll never know what that was. What? Ferric Jr. Class of Rogue. Maybe there's maybe their kid will be a better rogue than they were. I mean, they weren't terrible, but they have one job kind of as a rogue: to carry a lantern and to disarm traps, and they only did one of those things. Let's see, where is the rogue? They get what, 2d6? 3d6. Oh my goodness. So that's gonna be 10 gold total. And let's see, -1 attack, defense plus L plus 1. You add plus L to disarm traps. Then plus L to attack when out. Numbering, okay. I'm trying to speed through this, but I just felt like I just did this not that long ago. We have the light armor. And a dagger. Halfway there, we got Ruin Jr. The cleric. I was really hoping the cleric would at least stay alive, and then I could like use the blessing spell or whatnot. Could you keep the initial map plan, replay it, and pick up the clue? That's a good question. I think clues, I don't know if they could be picked up. It's a good question. I think they can. Maybe they can. I don't remember. I don't know, because it says like clues are discovered by a character. We can assume he shared the clues with his companions. Maybe didn't write it down. You could use the revisit room mechanics. Yeah. I think that it was just one clue, but I think it's probably gonna be lost. I'll probably just make a new dungeon or something. But I don't know. It would be like also if these are like their kids, them going back into the dungeon. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I'll finish making the characters. I mean, because we didn't get that far. There was only like a couple of rooms. Still didn't have these like two main other pathways to explore. Yeah, maybe. Because it probably, yeah, I don't know. Like they probably could get the clue back if they went back in. So we got 5 out of 5. How much gold? How much gold? It's 3 gold. Attack is good old rounded down of half L. Their attack versus undead. This time it's personal. Yeah. I mean, because I'm kind of curious. I'm curious what it says about, because there was a whole area about like petrified characters, and I think I made the joke. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need that. But I wonder how long could a character stay petrified? Because this could be like years later, but could the previous character still be in there, and then could the characters like unfreeze them? That could be kind of fun. Let me see what this says. I kind of forget what that whole section was. Yeah, I mean, there's this whole part about rescue mission, which is talking about like going back into the dungeon. I don't know, because I think there's a chance that if they're just stone, they could just be chilling in that same hallway. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Because it's not like you're gonna be like aging or anything if you're turned to stone. Definitely coming in there with a cleric again. So if that's gonna be awkward. If I'm going in there with one cleric, they could cast blessing 3 times, and there are 4 characters turned to stone. So someone's not gonna be coming back. Maybe I have to just drag out the other character that's still stone. And finally, we've got the warrior. Hello. Someone wants to say hi. Say hi, Jonesy. Jonesy, if I was turned to stone, would you come back for me? I don't think she would. Alright, so 7 out of 7 wife. Let's see how much gold the warrior has. I forget. I think they get 2d6. Yeah, 2d6. 6 gold. Then they go to plus L, +1, +1 defense, white armor. And 2-handed sword. Okay. Yeah, so I think I will. Yeah, I will make it the same dungeon. So let me put the map back off to the side. We'll get a new encounter sheet though, because I feel like that I do need. And then I'll keep the other characters, I don't know. Put them off to the side, but I'll keep them nearby. New encounter sheet. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if the adventurers' kids can save their petrified parents. Yeah, I don't know. This will be interesting. Let's see how this works out. Oh, I guess you know what? I was worried about like I'm not gonna be able to bring everybody back. Yeah, I can, because I only have 3 blessing spells. But if I use one of them to bring back the cleric, well then the cleric can bring back 3 people. So there would be more than enough to bring everybody back. So I guess the issue though. The thing I'm trying to think about is like how, because obviously these kids knew their parents went into this dungeon, but like they don't know where they went in the dungeon. Also, who knows how far in the future it is? So a lot of this is probably reset. It probably just wasn't the next day. Maybe it was, you know. Maybe these were already grown-up kids. Would they know? They wouldn't know, like, oh, they're in this corridor. Okay, I'm trying to think of how to do this. So first off, let me... Okay. So I do have Mythic Game Master Emulator's Fate chart off to the side just in case I needed it. And this feels like a good chance to just use it real fast. Is to maybe ask like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna have them roll for which route they go because they don't know which route parents went. But the thing I'm curious about is like, I guess it really doesn't matter, but like I'm curious, like, were these kids like adventurers already? They were like the parents were training them, or was this like this is years later and they're like grown up now and feel like they're ready to go take vengeance? So I'm gonna ask Mythic, is this in the near future? Like, was this like, you know, within like a month or a couple weeks or something, or is this like years? So was this next rescue mission, was it in the near future? And I'm gonna go with very likely. It's probably, and we'll go with likely. So if I roll, I'm gonna say it's likely. So that means, yes, I rolled less than 65. That yes, it's in the near future. Okay, so this isn't like years later. This is, like I said, within maybe like a month or so. And yeah, there's 3 different areas. So then also what I'll do is, since we came into this room, well, you roll a d6 for wandering monster. Okay, we're good. So entrance room is clear. And then, yeah, I'll probably just roll a d6 and do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the different 3 hallways to see which one they go down. And that is a 6. So they are going down the far right hallway. All right, well, they're off trying to find their parents. Let's see if they can do it. So that is a 36 for the room type. Okay, that is a funky room. I'm gonna mirror that because that's kind of weird. So they're going down here to the right. It goes like over 1, then goes up, over, door there. Down 1. Try to make sure I draw this right. Over 1, up 1. And then boom, boom. This is a weird room. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm drawing this right. Over 2, up, over, curved, and another door. Okay, that is a funky room. Great start for the kids. Hopefully they can find the route. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They encounter a Medusa? I guess that's the other thing, is like, these kids don't know what happened to their parents. It's not like they know they got turned to stone. They just know they went to this dungeon, didn't come back. So for all they know, they're dead. but they're having high hopes, which, yeah, I mean, if they can find them, then they might have a chance to save their parents. All right, I like this. Let's see if it if it works out. So this room, let's see what the contents of it is. 7. So 7. The room's table is a minion. Of course it is. 2. Finally, we're gonna fight something other than the fungi folk. And a 2 on the minions table is goblins. Oh, good old goblins. They're classic. 3. Oh wait, that's I rolled. No, not a 3d6. It's a d6 plus 3. My bad. Okay, so there's 4 goblins. So goblins. Count to 4. They are level 3. Circle in the little circles. Okay. And then finally, goblins have a 1 in 6 chance of gaining surprise. So let's see if they do. We'll say if they roll a 6, they'll get to surprise. They rolled a 5. All right. So goblins did not get the jump on us. Yeah, I think we're just going to fight them. So, because there's only 4 of them. They're only level 3. It's the worst that could happen. All right, so I'll let the barbarian lead the charge here. And swing with their glaive with a +2. Is going to be 7 total. So they're going to take out 2 goblins in 1 swing. That is half the goblins. So they'll be making a morale roll. That is a 3, which means something. I don't remember what that means. I know most of the time it's like, oh wait, morale roll should be like right here. Oh, it is 1 to 3 a monster flees. Okay, so the goblins are out of here. Cool. Barbarian just came in, went crazy, took out 2 of them in 1 swing. And the other goblins are like, now we're gone. Cool, easy first fight. Not gonna try to attack the other goblins because they're just gone. So I rolled treasure -1. Let's see what kind of treasure these goblins had. So that's gonna be a 4. So I found a gem worth 2d6 times 5 gold pieces. So that's gonna be 8 times 5. We got 40, a gem worth 40 gold pieces, which will give that to the barbarian. Awesome. So we got 2 doors here. I'll go with the one that's more like centered, like the center part of the room. All right. Yeah, we'll see if these kids, how they do. I mean, first, so far so good, but you know, we'll see how their rogue does. Maybe their rogue's better. Hopefully they don't run into Medusa. All right, so next room is a 32 room. Just like this H-styled intersection. It goes like up to 4 wide, so it goes like over 3. That's 3 with a door up here. Long hallway. Okay. Cool. So we got a little corridor over here. Now let's roll 2d6 to see what's going on in there. And there's a 4. 4 in a corridor means it's empty. So they can search it, which they will. Sure, why not? A 2 means it's just empty. I'm gonna do a circle, or I'm gonna write an S and a circle. Because we searched, these rooms have been searched, but those were by the other party. So like, I'll do an S and a circle, the party of kiddos. But okay, we got a corridor. I'm gonna go down this left passage here, see what's beyond that door. Let's roll it up. That is a 41. So 41 is a new room. So draw this real fast here. And this is a kind of like a 3x3 with an extra little door at the top. Cool. Entering into the room. What do the kids see? They 8. An 8 in this room is some more minions. So let's see what kind of minions we're facing. That's a 3. At least we're getting some variety now, not just more fungi folk. We're gonna be facing off against some hobgoblins. Oh boy, 6 hobgoblins to be exact. Yikes. It's the max amount of hobgoblins. So that is the second minion encounter. Hobgoblins, 6, and they are level 4. Little circle thing real fast. And last one is 6. Cool. What else do I need about the hobgoblins? Their reactions. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna let them react. I'm just gonna fight them. We don't. A lot of these, they might accept bribes, but we don't have a lot of gold, so we can't really do too much bribing. So we're just gonna fight. We'll fight, and I'll attack with the barbarian first. That's a 6. Awesome. That means I get to roll again. Come on, another 6. 2 6s, let's go. 3 6s, come on. No, okay. That's crazy. So I rolled 15 total, plus 2 is 17 damage, which takes out 4 of the goblin, the hobgoblin. That is crazy. Dang, this barbarian I think is better than their parents. That's crazy. And then they have to do their morale roll because they just lost a lot of people. No, they're still fighting. All right, let's see what the rogue's gonna do. They're gonna be attacking just with no bonus. It's a 2, so they're gonna miss. The cleric is gonna swing. A 4 will be enough to take out 1 more, leaving a single hobgoblin left for the warrior to finish off and get plus 2 to the roll. That's a 5, and a 7 is more than enough to take out the last hobgoblin. Wow, that barbarian. They rolled a lot of damage. That was awesome. I was really hoping to get that third 6, but you know what? 2 6s I'll definitely take. All right, so that was it for that. Treasure, I get to roll plus 1. So let's see. Wow, that was a 5 plus 1 is 6. So that means I can roll to get a random magic item. Great. And I got the 1, which is a wand of sleep. We'll give that to the rogue. And the wand of sleep just allows you to cast sleep essentially 3 times. Only wizards and elves may use it. Shoot. Well, Stream Elements bot is running. What are you? You're supposed to start up at the beginning of the stream. You're like 2 hours too late there, Stream Elements. Thanks for nothing. I gotta figure out this whole Stream Elements thing at some point. I keep saying I'm gonna do it at some point, and I just keep putting it off. But like, I need to just set it up finally and get it working. I was wondering why I didn't start up at the beginning of the stream, but whatever. Okay, we got our treasure, took down the hobgoblins. We are cruising right along. So let's just keep going up this passage and seeing what's in this door above the hobgoblin room. That is a 56. So that's this big old room. So there's a door here. Goes up 1, over 2, up 2, and another door over here. Got 2 doors from this room. Oh man, be exploring for days. Oh, cool. So we move our way into that room. Let's see what the contents of the room is. A 5 in the room means it's empty, but I get to roll a d6 on the special features table to see what kind of crazy stuff's going on in this room. A 1 means there is a fountain. All winded characters recover 1 life the first time they encounter a fountain in the adventure. Further fountains have no effects. Well, that's cool, but no one's taken any damage, so it's not the best. I'll write like fountain in here, whatever. Okay, I mean, I'd rather have that. Oh, I can search the room though, so maybe we'll search the room. Jesus. Actually roll it in the dice tray. Ah, it's a wandering monster. That's no good. It's the risk of searching a room, I guess. Oh boy. Let's see, is this the wandering Medusa that's about to take us out? It's a boss. Oh no, this is happening. As long as I don't roll a 3. See, it's one of those things you just gotta say it out loud so it doesn't happen. Or no, what was it, a 4? I can't roll a 4. 4 would be bad. Please no 4, please no 4. It was a 3. I'll take a 3. A wandering ogre is not a great thing to find, but I'll take it, you know, over a wandering Medusa. So we're fighting a boss already. An ogre. Ogres are pretty nasty. They're level 5, has 6 hit points, and each hit from an ogre deals 2 damage instead of 1. And what did I say they do? Well, they only do 1 attack, but then it does 2 damage. They're level 5 and they have 6 hit points. Okay. Let me get these circled in real fast. All right, so we're looking around for some treasure. What we found is an ogre. And since this is a wandering monster, it's going to attack. Who's it going to attack? We'll have it attack the... Does no one have any heavy armor? Oh, gosh. I guess it doesn't really matter who it attacks. We'll have it attack the rogue, I guess, because they will get +2 to their defense roll, which is decent. It still fails, so the rogue is taking 2 damage. The rogue is down to 2 out of 4 health. Not great. And the ogre has still all of its life points remaining. Wait. Okay, make sure I put down 6. Okay, so now it's back to the party's turn. Trying to defeat this ogre, I'm going to have the barbarian go first again. Let's hope they get their 6 rolls. Nope, okay. That is 4 total, which isn't even enough to do any damage. Not great. Of the rogue go next. I could use the... No, I can't use the Wand of Sleeps because I don't have a wizard or an elf. Okay, we'll just attack then at a base roll. Or no. Yeah, it's just a normal roll. That's a 6, though. That's great. That's another 6. Maybe this rogue is better. Let me really roll it to make sure I'm not, like, cheating. Oh, it was another 6, but it rolled off the tray, so I'm not going to count it. That was a 6, 6, and a 3. So was that 15 total? So this rogue did a crazy sneak attack. Like went up behind, like got its ankle or like knocked it to the ground or something. I don't know. But that rogue did some crazy tricks. Okay, yeah, they took out half of the ogre's hit points, which means boss down to half hit points. It will automatically lose a level. So it goes from level 5 to level 4, and then we make a morale check to see if this boss keeps fighting. Which a 2, that means it doesn't. So I think we're chilling. So we triple check. Oh yeah, wait, morale roll. And bosses still do morale rolls, right? I mean, I'm not crazy for thinking that. It's not any different. I'm just... If it's that easy, then it's that easy. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, okay. What was the barbarian rage skill again? So now we can use this once per dungeon, but it allows the barbarian to roll the attack dice 3 times, and then they get to take the best of those. So it's kind of like an advantage in D&D, except you get an extra roll. So it's like super advantage. But yeah, I guess a 2 on this morale check. This ogre is running away, which at this point, I don't think any of us are going to try to stop it. So we'll let it be. And that'll be that. I'm fine with that. So then First, we get to do our treasure check, which is just a normal roll of just 1. So it had 2 gold on it. That's it. That kind of sucks. So go from 3 to 5 gold. And then since a boss was defeated, we get to make an XP roll. Forgot what the name of the thing was, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you hate it when you get pumpkin soup in your bread? I'm sorry. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you use the fountain whilst you're there? You've taken some damage now. That is a really good question. I was wondering the same thing myself. I don't know. Because it's all wounded characters recover 1 life the first time they encounter a fountain. So I don't know, like this is still the first time, but we haven't used it yet. That's a good question. Because it could heal up a point of health. You know what? Let's say we can, because yeah, I could use the extra health, and I don't feel like wasting a healing spell. So we'll let the rogue heal up with the fountain a little bit, and then we have to do our oh, and your beard. I totally misread that. I don't know why I thought this was bread. Then we have to do our XP roll, which I'm gonna go for the cleric. I just need to not roll 1. And we got a 6, so the cleric has leveled up to level 2, which is great because now it can actually get +1 on its attacks, which is fantastic. Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, so the fountain's been used, ogre's been slayed. It ran away after the rogue did a crazy sneak attack. So I guess I should start seeing what's in some other rooms. Swap this around. And we'll go up. See what's up. Let's see what's up. I didn't answer. I mean, I can't say I've had that happen to me. So I don't know. I can't speak from experience about what that is like, getting pumpkin soup in my beard. I imagine some of these characters probably has some wicked beards, but yeah, I don't know. Is that, have you been struggling with that? You get pumpkin soup in your beard? Okay, we got just a hallway. That's lame. We'll go 2 this way, 2 up, and 3 that way. And we'll see what's in this corridor. 3 in a corridor means there's a trap. Let's see what this trap is, but I do have my rogue leading the party, so let's see if the rogue can... Oh boy. Got spears coming out from a wall. So let's see if this rogue can deal with this. Grow a beard and get back to you. It's a commonplace where I come from. Where is it that you come from? I can't say I've had that happen or know of anybody that's had that happen, but you know. Yeah, I think grow a beard, get back to me. Yeah, they'll take a bit. That's not really something I'm working on right now, so. So let's see if this rogue can disarm this trap. We have spears coming out of the wall. They're level 5, so I need to roll basically a 6. Oh wait, I get to add the rogue level, right? Let me triple check. But yeah, I get to add the rogue's level to the trap, and then see what happens with that. Let me double check I'm not crazy. Yeah, so I just need a 5 or a 6. And that's a 1. So these spears are, yeah, they're gonna be hitting us. So how does this work? They were spears. These are activated by the first character walking past them. Attack 2 random members of the party. The character failing his defense roll loses 1 life. Oh, so we still get to defend against them. Okay. So let me see who's being attacked. I'll just roll a d4. So The warrior and the rogue are both being attacked. We'll see if the rogue can defend. It's gonna be +2. The rogue is fine. Rogue's chilling. The warrior is not so much. So the warrior is taking a damage from these spears coming out of the wall, which the rogue saw but couldn't, and they avoided themselves, but then they didn't do a good job at warning the other party members. So yeah. Do your characters in this game have personalities? Not really. I mean, this game is pretty bare bones. There's not too much going on, especially as far as character creation. There's really no personalities besides, I mean, their class is kind of what dictates what they can do. I mean, the backstory behind these characters is they're entering the dungeon. These are the previous party's kids. The previous party all got turned to stone by a Medusa boss monster. So these are all the kids of the previous party that are coming back trying to rescue their parents. So as far as personalities, yeah, they don't have much. They do have names, and they all have Junior at the end of their name because they're named the same as their parents, but Junior. So we got Rai Junior, Ferric Junior, Ruin Junior, and Torum Junior. Yeah, the main things that dictate them are just like their names and their class. So yeah, there's not too much as far as the actual like who they are, but that's just this game. I mean, other games could be way different, but okay. So this hallway had some spear traps in them, which got the warrior pretty bad. Let's go off to the right and see what's going on over there in that room. So roll up some dice, and it's another corridor. Lame. And this goes, let's see, we'll make it go down, even though it doesn't really matter. This is just gonna dead end. Okay, well, that's not my straightest door, but whatever. Or wall. And let's see what's in this corridor. What? An 11 in a corridor is a boss. Great. Like, we just didn't encounter one like 2 rooms ago. Now we're gonna encounter another one. So at least this one is it might be the final boss of the dungeon. Let's see. So I add 1 to this roll because we've encountered 1 boss previously. So if this is a 5 or a 6, nope. Okay. So it's just a 1. So that means this is not the final boss. Then let's see who this boss monster is. Please don't be a 4. Please don't be a 4. Don't be a 4. It's a 4. No, not the ogre that's back. It's the Medusa. It's the Medusa. We found her lair, and it's the Medusa, that probably the same one that took out this party's parents. So this is a boss. The Medusa is level 4. They have 4 hit points. Okay, I mean, what are the odds that the Medusa doesn't fight me? Yeah, I'm gonna let Cursed Families, yeah. The infamous corridor boss, my favorite dungeon trope. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, let's see what happens. Maybe this will be a bad idea, but I'm not gonna attack Medusa. I'm gonna let her, I'm gonna see what she does first. And then, because their reaction table on a 1 to 6, on a 1, I can bribe them. On a 2, they have a quest. 3 to 5, they'll fight, and on a 6, they fight to the death. Yeah, no, I just need to stop rolling 4s. You know what? I'll just take a Sharpie and write on my dice and change all my 4s to 6s, and then problem solved. No more Medusas. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna let the Medusa react, and let's see what they do. I'm hoping for a 1 or a 2. Well, you're rolling this. No, I rolled it out of the tray. That doesn't count. That was a 2 though. It's a 6. 6 means they're gonna fight to the death. So that's fun. All right. All right. Well, It's time. It's time. Let's see. At the beginning of the battle, let's see if they can all save against this gaze attack. So I just have to roll 4 or higher. Okay, so now I need a 4 or higher. So let's start with the barbarian. Is the barbarian going to be turned to stone? Yes, barbarian is turned to stone. What about the rogue? I get to add +1 to the rogue. Is the rogue going to be turned to stone? The rogue's fine. Rogue's fine, so we're good there. There's one person still fine. I really want the cleric to be okay. That's who I really care about, if I'm being honest, because they have the blessing spell. Is the cleric fine? The cleric is not fine. How about the warriors? The warrior okay? The warrior is fine. Okay. This is not good. Because now the only person that can unpetrify people has been petrified. You should have known that they'd have to fight the parent killer. Who knows? Maybe the Medusa just like left. Maybe they were just like visiting the dungeon. You know, maybe they were like an intern or something, that they were just there for like the day and then they were going to leave after that. But oh no, the Medusa's in their lair. That's just this corridor at the end of the dungeon, I guess. The Medusa also killed them in this corridor. So they really like these like zigzag corridors, I guess. Okay, so just control, like, the barbarian is gone, cleric's gone. Still have the rogue and the warrior. So now we need to, and this thing is gonna fight to the death. So at this point, I don't have, like, I can't, I have to try to kill this thing. Yeah, this is fine. This is totally fine. This is just dungeon delving as usual. All right, we'll have the rogue go first. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So there's no way to unpetrify them. Yeah, at the moment, no. The cleric had a blessing spell that they could have unpetrified people, but the cleric has been turned to stone. There is a way, like, you can leave the dungeon, hire a cleric, come back with the cleric, and then unpetrify them, but this is gonna be just a whole family of people. Like, I'm gonna have to get the grandkids to come and to unpetrify their parents so then they can help unpetrify the grandparents. This is a mess already. Hey there, KDK. Happy Sunday to you too. Yeah, the game's fun. It's not been going good. I ran to my first Medusa. Whole first party got turned to stone. So now the kids of the first party have come back to try to save their parents. They encountered a Medusa, presumably the same Medusa, and half the party has been turned to stone. So we'll see if we can get out of this situation. But yeah, junior squared. So yeah, let's see if the rogue and the warrior can clutch this, take out this Medusa, drag... I don't know, drag these two guys out of the dungeon and then come back to try to see. This is just keep roping other people into this. All right, let's start rolling. So Medusa's level 4. So let's see if the rogue gets +1 to their attack, but they already have -1. So I'm just rolling a straight roll. A 3 is not enough to do any damage. So then the warrior gets +2. That's a 4. So that's a damage against the Medusa. Luckily, it only does that gaze attack at the beginning of the battle. So it's not going to do that again. It's just doing a normal attack at this point. This is not going good. All right, who's it going to attack? We'll have it attack, I guess, the rogue. I don't know. Rogue gets +2, so... yeah, rogue's fine. Rogue defended, no problem. So, okay. I mean, we dealt 1 point of damage to it, slowly chipping away at this thing. Let's have the rogue try to fight it again. Just rolling straight up whatever that's on the dice, which a 5 is enough to chip away at its health a little bit more. And I guess, okay, that is half health, which means... Well, normally it would make a morale roll, but it's fighting to the death, so that's not going to happen. But it is a level 3 creature now, so it's a little bit easier to hit. Let's see what the warrior is going to do. +2 to its roll. That's a 1, but that's a 3 total, so it is going to knock off a little bit more of its health, leaving this Medusa with 1 point of health. But it's going to attack again. We'll have it attack the warrior, so the warrior is going to be making defense roll. It fails, so the warrior's taking 8 point of damage. Yikes. I mean, luckily the warrior still has a lot of health, so I mean, at this point, I'm not going to jinx it, but I think this fight's going to end fine. But I'm worried about the aftermath of like, how's this going to end? The saving rolls are made and beat. Only defense rolls are greater than. Is that not how I was playing them? I thought I knew that. Okay, well, thanks for pointing that out. I thought that's how, maybe I wasn't. Wait, would someone have been fined? Was I playing that wrong? Because they had to meet or beat 4. So I don't know. I think the other rules were pretty low, but maybe I'm mistaken. Let's see if we can finish this. Rogue. They're just gonna do a straight attack, no modifiers, and that's a 6. All right, explosive 6. There we go. So that's 9 damage total. This rogue does a sneak attack and takes out the Medusa. All right, that's good. I mean, someone can level up. I guess I'm gonna do level up roll for the rogue. Let's see real fast. Okay, rogue levels up. That's good. This is still not a good predicament because let me roll for treasure real fast while I'm thinking about it. Treasure +1, so that's a 5, which means is that 3d6? Yeah, that's a 3d found jewelry worth 110 gold. Should I have the rogue grab that? Now you just need to loot the loot to be a scroll of blessing. You know what? That would have been really nice. Unfortunately, that is not the case. What would I need to? I would need to roll a 6. What would I even? How would I even get that? Oh, okay. I would need to roll a 3, and then roll on the random spell table and get a scroll of blessing. Yeah, that would have been helpful. But you know what? At least we got vengeance. That's true. Vengeance for the parents, but now we have to deal with Rye Jr. and Grulin Jr. who have been turned to stone. Let me double check the turn to stone rules, because I guess I need to refresh myself on how this works. So, yeah, they're magic. All their items are also equipment. Everything is turned to stone, which is fun. Or let's see. Petrified character is very heavy. It will require 2 characters to carry him. In addition, because of the noise, by dragging a statue on the dungeon floor, the chance of encountering a wandering monster is increased to 2 and 6. Okay. So I think I have since there's 2 of us. I mean, luckily we could drag, because it says you need 2 characters to drag a character. So this is good. We could drag like the cleric out, come back, grab the barbarian, and then heal up. And then after that, wait, how would I? A scroll of blessing, that's kind of expensive, isn't it? That's 100 gold. Yeah, we could, well, do I have it? That's worth like 50, 20, 70. I don't know if we have enough gold to even get a scroll of blessing. Because everything is sold at half value, so that's like 55, that's 20, like 75, 85, 91. I only have 91 gold. I would need 100 gold to get the blessing spell, or to hire a cleric. It's also 100 gold. Plus 100 gold for every blessing spell they cast. So I don't even have enough gold right now to bring back one of the characters. Oh, this is not good. So so I think I might need to like leave them there for now, as bad as that sounds. Leave them there. Keep going around the dungeon. Hopefully get a couple more pieces of loot. Ideally, I need like 9 more gold worth of loot. and then we drag the cleric out, just the cleric. We heal them up, then come back with the cleric to unpetrify them. Oh my god, this is like a logic puzzle. Like I gotta do that, then that, then that, and that. Okay, now this is fine. This is totally normal. All right, so let's venture back to this corridor. Any wandering monsters? Nope. Okay. Then let's see what's to the left. Let's roll up that room, man. This has been a heck of a dungeon so far. 24. So we just have a small room. Let me give this paper. So we'll go, how do I want to draw this? So we got a door here, and then this comes out like that, and then like that, like that, like that, like that. Something. Door down there. Boom, boom. Door over there. Good enough. All right, so we're in this little room. Let's see what's going on. A3 means there is a trap. Oh, goody. Okay, I just realized also that I was worried. I was like, wait, do we even have a lantern? But luckily the rogue who's carrying the lantern is unpetrified, so we're chilling. Because if not, then that would be another situation to deal with. Okay. So great, now we got a trap to deal with. Let's see. Give me like a low number, please. Thank you. I just gotta ask. Ask nicely, say please, and you'll get a low number. A dart level 2. So let's see if the rogue notices and can disarm this. I think so, because they add their level to it and they have a 2. So there's no way they can fail. That's a 5, yes. Thankfully, my rogue is a bit more alert now after taking out that Medusa and was able to disarm that trap. So we are chilling. Wait, is that a thing? I haven't been doing that. Wait, hold on. Am I dumb? I just noticed, like, on this little reference sheet, on the next to the traps table, it says if you survive the traps, roll a d6 on the treasure table. Where does it say that in the book? I don't remember it saying something about disarming or surviving a trap. You get to like loot the room. This is the whole page on traps. I don't see anything in here about that. Is that right? You've never rolled a dungeon with as many traps. Yeah, it's the same here, but at least my rogue is finally, they've leveled up a little bit. They've gotten acclimated to the dungeon, so they're keeping a better eye out, which is always good. Yeah, it says right there, if you survive, you roll a d6, but I don't see any, I don't remember reading that in the book anywhere. I mean, I'll do it. I'll take any extra treasure I can get, but I don't remember that being a thing. Everybody survived. The rogue disarmed the trap, so I mean, I'll take some treasure. Let's see it over here, maybe. On the traps table and on the treasure table. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll roll on the treasure table. A 4. What is a 4? A gem worth 2d6 times 5. Okay, I think that's perfect. 9 times 5. Gem worth 45 gold is all I needed. Perfect. Okay. Now we can get this party started. So gem worth what 45 gold, right? Perfect. So that's great. So now we officially have enough gold that if I were to leave this dungeon, sell my stuff, I'll have enough to buy 1 blessing spell. There are inconsistencies. Just pick one you like and roll with them. Okay. Well, yeah, cool. Then I'll take any extra treasure I can get. So at this point, we need to go back to this corridor. So we roll for a wandering monster. We're chilling. Back to the Medusa corridor over here. Any wandering monsters? No, we're chilling. Then I'll have both the rogue and the warrior grab the petrified cleric that's been turned to stone. And we'll slowly start trying to drag him out of the dungeon. So we go back to here. So now there's, if it's a 1 or a 2 on wandering monsters, there's going to be 1. So let's see. All right, wandering monster. Of course, we made it 1 room with this guy. There's already a wandering monster. Okay, well, just as long as we don't roll another boss, like, it should be fine. Thank goodness. It's a 4, which I forget what a 4 is. I think that's like a 4 is a minion. Okay, I can deal with minions. I would prefer if they were just like the little yellow guys, and not like spiders, or I guess in this case orcs. There's gonna be some orcs. There's gonna be, okay, that was like the minimum roll, so we're gonna have to deal with 2 orcs. That's totally fine. What is this? This is a 3rd minion encounter. Orcs. There's 2 of them. Orcs are level 4. And let's see what else. So, what did I say? There's 2 of them. Okay. Just need to get out of this dungeon. And so since this is a wandering monster, it's going to, they're going to attack first. They're going to attack both of my characters. So let's see, the rogue will get +3 to their defense roll. So a 2, that beats their level 4, so I'm chilling. And then the warrior gets +1, a 6, more than enough. So they snuck up on us, but we were pretty ready, even though we're dragging this stone cleric along. Okay, now it's our chance to attack. Let's see what the rogue's gonna do. It's just a straight roll. That's a 6. Oh man, here we go. More 6s. Dang. Okay, that was a 1. So 7 total. But 7 total is not, no, that's not enough to take both of them out. It was enough to take 1 out. Dang. Wait, no, I do add the level. Oh, but that can't. No, wait. Oh, wait, that's +1 because it's level when we're outnumbering them. Oh, but it's tied, so never mind. That doesn't. So yeah, it just takes that 1 orc. Okay. Yep, I'm dumb. Okay, then we'll let the warrior go, and they get +2, and that's a 3, so 5 total is enough to take out the other orc. Thank goodness. What do the orcs give me? Normal treasure, so let's see. Please give me a random spell. Give me a 3. That's a 5. I'll take a 5. That's a nice piece of jewelry. It's gonna give me a piece of jewelry worth 110 gold. We'll just give that to the warrior. Awesome. All right, let's see if we can make it through maybe another room or 2 without triggering a wandering monster. So let's go back into this room with the fountain. Thank goodness, no wandering monsters. Into this next room. No wandering monsters. Into this corridor. Please, no wandering monsters. We're still good. And then into this room. Separate from that. Let's see. This room. Still good. And then finally back to the entrance of the dungeon. Still good. Okay. So Ferric Jr. and Torum Jr., the rogue and warrior, made it out alive. They dragged Roland Jr., the cleric, out with them. And we have enough gold, so now, after we get out of the dungeon, I will go to some shop nearby, I guess. I don't know. Go to the local flea market and sell some stuff. So just add up what I have at 40. It's 45, it's 85, plus 110, so 195. 305 total, so we'll just round it. So it's 150 gold total, essentially, because you get half. 150 gold total, and then the spell costed, what, was just 100, I think. So still like, what, 50 gold? Yeah, that costs 100. So we'll just give the warrior 50 gold. I could split it up more evenly, but right now I'm more worried about getting my party back together. So yeah, we have a scroll, a blessing spell. It's not a scroll, but we have to go to the church. You have to drag this cleric to the church, pay him 100 gold, and then they unpetrified the cleric. So now our cleric is back. Thank goodness. So now we could go back, get the other party member, and now try to resume the original mission. This is what a dungeon. This is definitely way different than any of the other dungeons I've played so far. Okay, so back into the entrance. I'm just gonna treat all of these like doing the wandering room check or wandering monster check. We're not dragging anybody anymore, so we're good there. Make our way back. This room next. Wandering monsters. Nope. Corridor. Nope. Next room. Nope. Next room. Nope. Next corridor. Dang it. Okay. We were one room away, but we ran into one wandering monster. Let's see. Please don't be a boss. Don't be a boss. Okay. Thank goodness. Never been so scared for a dice roll. Okay, so it's a 2, which I think is probably just like, what, a vermin? I don't know why. I can never find this dang table. I also don't know why. Like, it has every table in the back of the book except, like, searching a room and wandering monsters. Maybe there's another one, but I feel like I always have to keep coming back to these. Yes. Okay, good. It's just some vermin. I'll take that. Whatever. What are we fighting? Giant centipedes. Fine. I don't even care. 3 giant centipedes. Like I care. Let me slide this up there. Jeez. All right. These are vermin, so we don't even get any XP or anything. Giant centipede. There's 3 of them, and they are level 3. I get no treasure from this. Any character wounded must save versus a level 2 poison or lose an additional life. Oh, that's fun. These are wandering monsters, so that means they're going to get a free attack. All right, well, let's see what they're going to do. And there's 3 of them total, and there's 3 of us, so I guess they're attacking. Oh, but we're in a corridor, so that means only 2 of them can attack the 2 people in back of my party, which I guess I never. This is like the order: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the cleric and the warrior are the ones getting attacked. So the cleric, see if they're chilling on their defensive roll. They're being extra cautious. And the warrior is also fine, more than okay. Okay, so let's have the rogue go first. Let's see. There's 3 of us versus 3 of them. So they have -1 to this attack. So that's 4 total. So they do take out one of the centipedes. Then the cleric's up, and they get to add +1 to their attack. That is a 5. So that is another giant centipede down. That's more than half. So they have to make their morale roll. That is a 4. So these centipede are going to keep fighting. So I'm going to have the warrior attack +2 to this attack. That is a 3 total, which is enough to take out the last centipede. No treasure, no XP. Don't care. Final room with our petrified boy. Is there any wandering monsters in here? No. Great. We made it back. Grulin Jr., cast your blessing spell and bring back Rye Jr. Party's back together. All right. So now we can continue trying the original mission of trying to find their parents and then unpetrifying them. Man, oh man. These parents are, I don't know, they're probably gonna be relieved, but also like pissed that their kids came to try to find them, put themselves in danger. Half of them got petrified. So, man, oh man. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We got a door there and a door there. This door. We got a lot of extra. We got doors everywhere. The parents are like over here in this hallway, so we got to at some point loop back around there. How many bosses have we encountered? Just 2? Yeah, 2. This probably got to come up on the final boss at some point. But let's go back into this corridor. Do a wandering monsters check. God, these wandering monsters are killing me. All right, what kind of wandering monster is it? Thank goodness it's not a boss monster. So 3 means we're encountering minions. Minions I'm fine with, because they actually will give me some like XP. So we're running into some orcs, specifically 7 orcs. Well, last time I rolled the minimum amount of orcs. This time I rolled the maximum. So that seems perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So orcs. Oh boy, what is it? Level 4, and there's 7 of them. I'm pure petrify the cleric. Yeah, definitely, because I don't have enough blessing spells to unpetrify everybody. But I think, yeah, the parent has all 3 spells. So if I unfreeze them, then they can unfreeze everybody else. Also impressed you always remember the morale roll. I always forget them. No, I mean, it's easy to forget. The first couple games I was real bad about remembering it. So yeah, I mean, I want to do the least amount of fighting as possible. So yeah, it's a good rule to remember for sure. Okay, so we have 7 orcs, and they're wandering, so that means they're going to get the first attack too, which is fun. Let me go ahead and outline these. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so they're attacking the cleric, and the warrior. Cleric will get +1. So that doesn't beat there, because they're level 4, and that is a 4, but that means the cleric's taken a damage, which is not good. We gotta keep the cleric alive. And then the warriors +1, and they're more than okay. They rolled a 6. So all right, we're cruising along. So now it's back to us. Let's see. So I will have, I guess only the people in front can fight. So it's just the rogue and the barbarian. So I'll have the barbarian go first. +2 to this attack, and that is a 6. So that takes out one of the orcs. Good start. Good start. The rogue doesn't get, it gets -1 actually to their attack. So that's a 2. So that's not gonna do anything. Oh boy. So okay, now I'm kind of, I need to check something, because this doesn't seem, I'm trying to remember how corridors. How does, I'm trying to remember how wandering monsters in corridors work, because like they attack the people in the back, then what? Like only the people in the back fight, or because I thought I'm trying to remember how this all works. Going right past the page. I don't remember. This talks about corridor. Okay, wandering monsters. Okay, in a corridor will sneak up on the party. 2 monsters attack the characters in the rear. The characters are surprised. Do not gain the bonus from the shield on the first attack. But it doesn't say. Like the thing in my mind is like, okay, these monsters are sneaking up behind us. They attack the 2 characters in back. But then the 2 characters in the front are the only ones that can attack. Like they're not the ones getting attacked. So I think I don't know. Makes sense if it was the characters in back that could attack, not the front, but it doesn't really say any otherwise. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just keep on keeping on. Okay, well now I kind of forgot where I was. I think I just did my 2 attacks, so now it is the cleric has to make a save and the warrior has to make a save. But luckily they get their shield, so cleric gets +2. That's a 6, so we're chilling. And then the warrior gets +1. That's a 1, so they're getting hit. Oh boy. Warrior's down to 4 health. They've been taking some hits. Okay, let's see if the barbarian, I kind of want to use my rage attack, but I feel like I should save it. But I'm getting ambushed by a bunch of orcs in a hallway. I mean, what's a better opportunity? I don't know. I've always interpreted it as the ones in the back, but then I give everybody a ranged weapon so everybody can always attack. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I get it why, like, if they're sneaking up on us, why the people in the back are attacked, but then it doesn't say anything about they're the only ones that can fight. But that kind of, like, that makes sense in my mind, but it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just keep playing it how I've been playing it. We'll just let the characters in front fight, the ones in the back take the hits. Doesn't really make much sense, but I'll just keep playing it that way since I've already started that. So those two have taken hits. So let's see what the barbarian's gonna do. So +2 to this. That's a 7. So that's gonna take out another orc. I still need to take out 2 more before I can make my morale check. Come on, rogue. -1 to this. That's a 0. All right, good job, rogue. Really doing a great job. All right, and then I'll do the defense checks for the 2 in the back again. The cleric rolled a 4, which is not enough. So they're down to 3 health. Oh my god, the cleric might die here. After being unpetrified, going through all this. No, I still have 3 health. I'm sure we'll be all right. The warrior is fine. Back to the barbarian. It's +2. Let's see. That's a 6. So that's another orc down. I just need to kill 1 more, and then I can. Maybe they won't run away. They're orcs. They won't notice. Yeah, I don't know. They're orcs though. I mean, these guys are, and there's 7 of them, so they might notice. All right, rogue, come on, give me a 6. You have to channel it, and it happens. So that's a 10. That's 9 total. That's still enough to take out 2 orcs, though. Oh my god, rogue's killing it. And then I can make my morale check. Oh please, please be scared, orcs. Yes. Those orcs are a bunch of pussies. They ran away. I don't blame them. Thank goodness. Okay. These wandering monsters, they're like the worst. That's also one thing I really like about this game. I like the whole idea of wandering monsters in a dungeon. It just makes it feel a lot less like static and a lot more interesting. So, I mean, as much as I've been getting steamrolled by these wandering monsters, I do think they're pretty cool, like, mechanic in the game. Except the fact that, you know, you can run to a boss monster and a Medusa. That's no fun. I don't know where I want to go from here. I kind of just want to keep exploring these last 2 doors and kind of finish out this area. So we'll go back in here. See if there's a wandering monster. Thank goodness there's not. Okay, we'll go to the door to the left. Which is, I got a 61. Okay, well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I will. We'll just put the room kind of oriented how it is. This top door will get cut off, but that's fine. This will go, what, 2 down here? Oh, wait. Yeah. And then a door right in the middle. Okay. Cool. New room. And this might loop back around to this other area, and they might just find their parents. That sounds good to me. So let's see what's in this new room. Hopefully nothing too crazy. A 6 vermin. Thank goodness, I'll take vermin any day. I don't care how annoying they are. I'm just scared there's gonna be more boss monsters popping up. So a 3 means we're dealing with goblin swarmlings. The heck is that? 6 goblin swarmlings. So this is a vermin. Goblin swarmling. They are level 3. And when I say I'm fighting 6 of them, oh goodness. Four, 5, and 6. All right, and they're not wandering, so we get the first strike. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack them. I'm not even gonna try to let them go first. I'm not gonna risk it. Let's have the barbarian lead the charge here. They're +2. There's a 6 total. So they're gonna be taking out 2 of the goblin swarmlings right off the bat. Let's see what the rogue's gonna do. Let's see, how many are there? There's 4. We'll have the cleric go first, actually, or go next. They get +1, that's nothing. The warrior gets +2. That takes out 1 more. And then That's half, so we got to do their morale check for these goblin swarmlings. They're gonna keep on fighting. Then finally the rogue can go, and I wanted the rogue to go last because now there are more of us than them, so the rogue gets a +1 to their attack. I pulled that out of the tray, doesn't count. 2, that's a 3 total, so it's another goblin swarmling down. I feel like I'm the only person that prefers to get the boss encounters. I mean, normally I liked them in my other playthroughs because you get treasure and experience, but also, today is the first time I've encountered the Medusas, so that's kind of scarred me a little bit from the boss encounters. But besides that, I mean, I like the XP rolls and the loot, but yeah, not so much getting turned to stone multiple times. So the goblin swarms are attacking. We'll have it attack the barbarian and I don't know, the rogue. Barbarian is more than fine, rolled a 6. The rogue is also fine. Okay. Well, back to our turn. It's 2 goblins left. Barbarian first. It's a 5 total, so they wiped out another one, and there's 1 left. Let's see if the rogue can finish them off with a +1. That's a 6. Let's keep this party going. That's a 5, so that's 12 damage. Where was that at the beginning of the fight? That would have taken out a huge chunk of them. Whatever. They're dead. Room cleared. Let's see what's down this door. 13. So, oh, what is this? It's like a zigzag. That's kind of weird. So there's a door, and then 1, 2. There's a door like over here. I think it goes like down 2, and across, and then down 3, and then back. Something like that, right? I don't know. All right, let's see what's in this corridor, I guess. 7 total for corridor is just a minion. Totally fine with minions. 5 on the minions table is some trolls. This is the first time I've encountered some trolls. So that is 2 trolls. What is this, our 5th minion encounter? Where are the trolls? They're level 5. I also pretend to always get Giant Spider and the Chaos Lord, occasionally the Dragon. Yeah, of all the bosses, I fought the Spider. I haven't fought the Chaos Lord or a Dragon yet. So, or a Zombie Dragon, which I don't even know if that's a thing in this game, but apparently it is. According to the Fireball spell. Okay, so we're fighting 3. There are 2 trolls. They're level 5. Trolls are a bit weird. Is there any way? What is their reactions? Fight or fight to the death? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna let them react. Yeah, trolls regenerate unless killed by a spell or unless a character uses 1 attack to chop up an already killed troll to bits. Right. So that's a thing we'll have to do. I'll put the map up there and let's try to deal with these trolls. So we outnumber the trolls. So I'll have the rogue go first. Whoa, good start. A 6 on the rollout. There we go. All right, 6 plus 2, that's 8, and then I add the 1, that's 9 total. So I take out at least one of the trolls, almost both in one hit. Okay, and then that was half. You know, there's only 2 trolls, so they do, I think, they will make a morale check. 4, yeah, they're still fighting. Then let's see what the barbarian can do. Let's actually have the barbarian try to chop up that other troll. That's 4 total, so actually not enough. What about the cleric? Let's see if the cleric can chop him up. They get +1. Okay, so 1 troll is fully dead. And let's see if this warrior can at least chop down the other one. +2, 5 is enough to take him down. And then how does this work? So I have to roll a dice to see if the troll comes back. Yep, troll comes back to life. Dang it. Okay. What in it? If this does not happen. It says it continues to fight, so I assume it still attacks then. Have it attack, I don't know, the rogue. The rogue has the best defense, I don't know. It gets +3, yeah, rogue is fine. My biggest problem though is I own so many of the books and I've mixed and matched so many of the monsters I don't remember what comes from what, but I've never fought a zombie dragon either. Okay. Never actually rolled. Spend the action and assume it's been done. Never rolled. Oh. I don't know. I thought. Huh. I guess it doesn't say. I mean, I'm sure you could do it either way. I guess I just assumed. I mean, it's probably not as hard to hit a dead troll, but like, I don't know. I already did it that way, so I'll just keep on keeping on. Okay, so where was I? So I just dodged that attack. So let's have the barbarian go first with a +2. It's enough to take out the troll that's coming back to life, but now I need to chop it to bits. See if the rogue can do that. They have a +1. That's not gonna do. Is the cleric gonna be able to do it? Cleric's gonna be able to do it. Oh wait, but they don't have a slashing weapon, so they can't. They have a mace, so they can't chop it to bits. Let's see if the warrior could chop it to bits. The warriors. Maybe I should do it that way. They just spend an action because I can't chop this thing to bits. But maybe it won't come back, right? It only comes back on a 5 or 6. I mean, that's like a 1 in 3 chance. It's not even that good of an odds. And the troll's back. He's back again. Who's it gonna attack this time? We'll have it attack, I don't know, the barbarian? Oh my goodness, that was a good roll too. No, barbarian's fine. 5 + 1 is 6, okay. Let's see if the barbarian can swing him down. Okay, that's enough to take out the troll. But then we gotta chop it to bits. Let's see if the rogue can do that. Yes, rogue's good. Rogue did it. Used his little dagger and chopped the thing to bits, I guess. All right, thank goodness. Whatever. So then treasure. What do these trolls have? Oh my goodness, I keep rolling these outside the tray. A 6. Magic item. Ooh. A 2. Ring of teleportation. Allows users to automatically pass a defense roll by moving their character out of the room. Interesting. I'll give that to the cleric. Hydrate. I'm glad you're laughing because I'm laughing too. Wait, it's making me happy. I'm glad. This game doesn't have, like you said, it's maybe a little inconsistent and there's, room for interpretation on some things. So yeah, it's just kind of got to wing it and just play how you want to play, I guess. So Hydrate since Streamlabs is yelling at me. That reminder's supposed to come up every half hour and it came up once in the last 2, almost 3 hours. All right. Well, I think we're getting close. We're almost back to the area. We got a ring of teleportation. That's cool. So if we can connect this up, we're like, they don't even know it, but they're like 2 rooms away from their petrified parents, which also, like, that's the other thing. Yeah, these kids don't even know if their parents are alive, so they're already like going out on a limb here, but they're like right there. They just need to get back there. So let's see what this next room we roll up is. 22. So goes, and then it's a 3x3 room. 3x3 room with a door. What if a door actually be like up here? So it kind of connects to that room. I guess there's a door up here, but not on the wall. There's like one, they're like one hallway away, but there's no way to. Maybe if this room is empty, they search it, they find a secret door. That'd be pretty sweet. That's the only way that this could really go pretty quickly. So let's hope for an empty room. It's a 4. The room table, not so much. A special events table, maybe that's good. I'm kind of worried now. 6. Oh god. Okay, puzzle room. Contains a puzzle box. It is level of D6. It's a 1 level puzzle. I could do this with my eyes closed. Easy. Wizards and rogues add their level to the puzzle solving roll. Well, they add +2, so I don't even need to roll, but I'm going to. That's a 6 total. If the puzzle is solved, the box opens and a treasure is in there. The treasure being a little bit of jewelry. For, what's that, 6, 9, worth 90 gold. Okay. Since the rogue opened it, they get to keep it. I better cross off the stuff I sold before. I sold that, sold that, sold that, sold that. Okay. So we'll say, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of room for this door, so we'll just say they go back through this door and end up back in the fountain room and start retracing their steps to go back a different way through the dungeon. No wandering monster. No wandering monster. Thank goodness no wandering monsters. Back in this room, there's a wandering monster. Okay, just be nice. Don't give me a boss. It's a boss. That's fine. That's fine. This happens. As long as it's, you know, I'm not even gonna say it. Just think positive numbers and not a number that rhymes with door. And this might go okay. It's a 5. I'll take a 5. The Chaos Lord, any day. I don't know what this Chaos Lord's about, but why are there so many? What kind of dungeon is this that has like so many bosses? None of them are in their room. They're just wandering the corridors. This is ridiculous. This is they're never gonna finish their task. All right, where's this? Is a boss? Chaos Lord. I haven't faced this guy before either, so let's see what their deal is. Oh, this is like a paragraph of text. This can't be good. Level 6. They have 4 life. They do 3 attacks per round. They have 4 life. 3 and 4. This is gonna be bad. Being visually impaired, I've never actually used their map, so I've never had the issue where did the doors go? The doors go where I put them since I make it out. That makes sense. I mean, and the rules say like you can rotate rooms and I don't know, stretch stuff to like make it work. So yeah, I just moved that door there because I was like, it just works better anyway. So the Chaos Lord, before the fight begins, roll a d6 to determine if the Chaos Lord has any special powers. A 1 to 3. Okay, good. It got a 3, so no special powers. Okay, well, I guess this Chaos Lord doesn't look that bad then. Thankfully, they don't have any special powers, but they are wandering monsters, so that means they're gonna get the attack on us first. And they do 3 attacks. They do 3 attacks per round. So we encounter them in a room, so they can attack anybody. So I'll have them attack pretty much anybody but the cleric. Let's go with the barbarian first. That's a miss. So barbarian's taking damage. The rogue, that's 6, but we have to beat it. So that's, oh no, wait, that's 7. So that's fine. Rogue's fine. And then the warrior is gonna be taking damage. So Barbarian is down to 7. The Warrior is down to 3 health. Oh my goodness. It's not good times. But it's back to our turn. I think yeah, we'll just attack normally. So Barbarian's going first, adding +2 to this. Oh my god, I keep doing that. +2 to this roll. There's a 6 total, which is enough that to meet their level. So it does 1 damage. See what the rogue can do. They're gonna get +1 to their attack. It's 4, which is not good. Cleric gets +1 to their attack. That is 6, which is enough. And the boss is at half health, which means first off, their level goes down to 5, making them a lot easier to deal with. And then they do a morale roll of 4, so they're gonna keep fighting. And then let's see if the warrior is gonna land a hit. That's a 6. Oh man, here we go. Get another 6. No, okay. But that's 12 damage total, which is enough to finish off the Chaos Lord. Oh man, that was kind of easier than I expected. Not to brag that my party's so good. And they get 2 treasure rolls at +1. I also get to level up somebody. Oh man. All right, let me level up the Barbarian. Maybe. That's the first XP roll I've ever failed, because you have to roll higher than the level. And it's not higher than my level, right? Double check I'm doing that right, but I'm pretty sure XP rolls, they have to be higher than the level, and that's not what I rolled. Now I don't even know where anything is in this book. Don't you just love that? I'm pretty sure leveling up. Here we go. Yeah, the result is higher than the current level. Yeah, so that was a waste of a roll. Not waste of a roll, but I didn't level up. That sucks. I still do get 2 treasure rolls, both at +1. So let's hope for some good treasure. Okay, I got a 2 and a 6. So the 2 is 2d6 gold pieces. So I got 10 gold. Just give that to the clerics, and then I got 15. And then the other one was a 6, so I get to roll on the magic table. And that's a 6, so I got a fireball staff. Allows you to cast fireball twice, but only wizards can. Man, wizards get all the cool stuff. I didn't really like playing wizard. That's the reason I didn't pick one for my party. It's like, I don't know, didn't really like them, but now I kind of see they're good. Okay, so let's continue back to the main room, the entrance room. No wandering monsters here. So then I'm gonna roll a d4, a 1 or a 2 for this left passage, 3 and 4 for the center passage. They're going down the left passage. Oh boy, here we go. They're on the path to finding. They're almost there. So first room, is there a wandering monster? No. Next room, is there a wandering monster? No. So they have 2 doors to choose from, left or right. We'll go 1 and 2 for left, 3 and 4 for right. They're going to the right. Okay. They're like 2 rooms away, but they took a wrong turn. 22. There's not enough room for that room. Maybe I'll re-roll one more time, but 41, definitely not enough room for that room. Well, I guess I still. What was that first one? 22. I'm supposed to still like draw the room and then just draw however much I can of it, I think is how you're supposed to do that. So I draw like something like that. It's a weird room, but it is a room that it would have 1 door way over here, kind of on the opposite side connecting back. Let's see what's in this room. They just need to go turn around and they'll be right there. A 2 on the contents is a treasure. It's a treasure room. Well, that's awesome. Well, that was a good roll, but it was out. Okay, they found a gem worth 45 gold. All right, we'll give that to, I don't know, the warrior. We're almost there. So I think they'll continue through this door into the next room, which they've already been in, and they're going to realize that. There's no wandering monster there. They're going to go backtrack. No wandering monster. Back to this hallway. We're almost there. No wandering monster. The T intersection, or this cross intersection. No wandering monster. And then this curved hallway. I swear, if this Medusa's in there, I'm gonna freak out. Okay, good. No wandering monsters. These kids roll up to this hallway, and there they see, standing in the middle of this corridor, all of their parents turned to stone. They all probably freak out a little bit. The cleric immediately, Gruen Jr. is super excited, casts blessing on his pops, bringing Gruen back to life. Oh man. And then Gruen is going to use all 3 of their blessing spells to bring everybody else back. Jeez. I don't even care if I didn't kill the final boss of this dungeon. I don't even know if there's still more unexplored. I haven't explored this area there. But at this point, I think that was their quest, you know? It says most of the time the goal is to get the final boss. Now, these kids came in here to try to find their parents, and they did. And they all were. We got 2 parties of characters now, so we have 8 characters. There are forced to be messed with, but everybody's back. And now let's just get out of the dungeon, and I'll call it there. So we got a whole squad here. There's probably a lot of crying, a lot of reuniting, but there'll be more of that once they're out of the dungeon and safe. So that room is fine. How's this room? This room, no wandering monsters. This room, no wandering monsters. And then the final dungeon entrance. I swear, if Medusa's waiting there at the end, I'm gonna scream or something. No, nothing. And they make it out of the dungeon alive. All of them, everybody is back. Everybody's no more people turned to stone. Rai Jr., Ferric Jr., Gruen Jr., and Torum Jr. They didn't defeat the final boss, but they took down a lot of boss monsters in the process. So, and they got a lot of gems and stuff. Yeah, a lot of treasure and a happy family. And I think that's a happy ending for today's stream. Well, that did not go at all like I anticipated. That was a very interesting dungeon, to say the least. But happy ending in the end, which I'm pretty hyped about. You know, they didn't kill the final boss, but they're all together. You know what? Maybe after they rest, relax, heal up their wounds, maybe all 8 of them, they have like a parent bring your child to work day, and they all come back and clear out this dungeon at some other point. But that was really fun. I really like this game. I definitely can see the hype around it. I see why people recommend it so much. Yeah, just the one thing though, it's like it is fun and I do enjoy it, but you know, it's not really an RPG. It's not your traditional RPG. Maybe some of this other supplements add more RPG stuff, and there are rules to make it kind of an RPG with, like, there was the RPG Lite rules, which I didn't really look into too much, but yeah, I don't know. I still think this is really fun. And I'm glad I finally got to play it. And like I said, there's also just like, there's a lot of really cool mechanics and just like little things in here that I really enjoyed, whether it was just the wandering monsters was cool. What else? I mean, there was just a lot of interesting stuff, some weird stuff, like the whole fact that elves and dwarves are actual classes and not just like a race that you can pick, but like a class that dictates all your abilities is interesting for sure. Yeah, lots of, I like that bosses, creatures don't roll dice. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. I like how like the final boss is determined, and yeah, overall, I mean, I really like the game. Glad I finally got around to playing it. I'm definitely gonna have to pick up some of the other supplements and try those out. But yeah, this is a fun one for sure, and it makes some pretty good dungeons as far as mapping them out go, which is pretty nice, and I'll talk about that more here in a second. This was by far the strangest War Against Darkness dungeon I've ever seen, participated in any way. I'm glad you could hang out. This indeed was also, I mean, I've played this, like I said, maybe if you've done 2 or 3 full dungeons before today, this was the most interesting. It was the first one I've encountered Medusa. It's the first one I've had to roll up kids of the adventurers and go back and saving their parents, and the kids almost also got turned to stone. I mean, they kind of did, but like, yeah, what an adventure for sure. All right. The race as a class is an old school D&D set, was inspired most of the game. Oh, okay. We enjoy seeing you play 4 Against Mars. I've not heard of that. Is that like a sci-fi based like sequel made by the same people? I have not heard of that. 4 Against Mars. I mean, I do like a good sci-fi theme, so if that's kind of the case, I might have to look into that. But yeah, that the race as a class, yeah, that does. I haven't played much old school D&D, so maybe that's why it kind of is odd to me. Which like it's not like they make it work, so like it's not like I'm trying to bash them, but it's just like any other fantasy game I've played where you pick like a class and a race. Like elf is not a class; it's a race that you pick, and then you would pick like a barbarian elf or something. But I mean, yeah, they make it work, so I'm not complaining really. It's just it struck me as odd for sure. And then yeah, the whole I gotta read it one more time. This just cracked me. The fireball spell just cracked me up. About fireball does not affect dragons, but it does affect zombie dragons. Of course. I'm glad that didn't come up. I'm glad I didn't encounter a zombie dragon. But I just thought that was funny. It's basically 50s pulp science fiction alien invasion of Earth based on the same 4 Against Darkness style rules. Interesting. Is that newer? I'll definitely have to check that out because yeah, I really like this. I think I will at some point pick up some of the supplements for this and kind of see what those are all about. But yeah, I'll have to also look into that because I enjoyed this and I like a good sci-fi theme. So yeah. Oh, let me switch over to my just chatting screen as I do a little bit of just chatting before stream elements. Why are you saying you're just running? Of course you're running. You said that earlier. I don't know what's going on with stream elements today. All right, so in the typical fashion as I do every stream, I will go ahead and tease out what's upcoming this week on my channel. So on Tuesday, I will have a playthrough video coming out of For Northwood, the solo trick-taking game. I did a playthrough a couple months, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, so it's been a while since I played it. I've been itching to play it some more. I've been playing it more in my free time, so I figured I'd do another video on that. So that will be coming out on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, I will be doing episode 2 of my Let's Roll Up a Dungeon series, where I'll be rolling up a dungeon using 4 Against Darkness. I will be making this, I gotta pull up my notes about what I'm even making. It's like this place called Hollow's End. It's gonna be like this underground city type temple of this, I kind of forget, this necromancer, and yeah, it should be pretty cool. And I'm gonna be mapping out another dungeon, and this time I'll be using all of this with 4 Against Darkness and the dungeon rooms and corridors that it makes. So I'm really curious to see, I really do like the structures of these, and it came out with a pretty good dungeon, with lots of loops here and places that it kind of connects, which I do like. So I'm curious to see how this will do when mapping out a dungeon and comparing it to last week's, where I did that with the Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master Guide. So that'll be coming up on Thursday, and then next Sunday will be another solo gaming Sunday where I'm gonna be returning to a bit of a favorite, and I'm gonna be playing some Fantastic Factories. Fantastic Factories is one of my favorite games. I have not played it on the channel in a while. I think I haven't played it probably since I did my playthrough series where I played against the bot on the insane difficulty. So been itching to play that again more recently. So I'm going to do a Fantastic Factories stream next Sunday. So that's what's coming up this week. For Northwood on Tuesday, Let's Roll Up a Dungeon featuring 4 Against Darkness on Thursday, and then next Sunday, Fantastic Factories. Should be fun. I am definitely looking forward to those. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for the stream. Looking forward to the next dungeon video. I'm glad to hear the dungeon series. I still have some, I'm still trying to figure stuff out as I'm going, but the first video went pretty good. It took a lot longer than I anticipated to actually do that video. So hopefully this one will go a little bit quicker, and I'm hopefully have some stuff that I can like speed it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those. So I'm glad to hear that you're looking forward to that. And I'm really curious to see how War Against Darkness does at rolling up a dungeon. I mean, we kind of saw it here today, but that's a little bit different when I do those. So enjoyed the stream. Look forward to watching all your videos. Well, thank you. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Run a little bit later than I normally do, but I'm totally fine with that because I had to finish this adventure and see how it ended. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this stream, a like would always be greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see you. See y'all next week. Thanks for stopping by, and try your best to not get turned to stone.